Hey there, gang. Welcome to the Missouri Liberty Alliance, our first live stream. I know we're not going to have an audience because of how late we went tonight. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, but we thought we'd let you know that our Discord is now up and running and it is ready for business. So you guys can come in at any time with the link provided below in the description section. So we also have with us, we have Conjecture and we have Liberty Revolutionary with us today. Hey guys.
Greetings.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Humans.
Yep. So also we have a donate link. So for the first time ever, as we're starting up this organization, and we have a lot of costs associated with it, everything from website development, starting up the corporation, registering the name with the state of Missouri, getting the corporation up and running as an LLC, all that fun stuff. So basically, if you guys want to help us out with that, you can do so at the link down below. So we'd appreciate any help. But that's the main thing. And then also we have a T-shirt that we're in the process of getting ready now, and hopefully within 1 week we should be able to show you the T-shirt, and hopefully it'll be available for order. Maybe I shouldn't have said that without talking to Jimmy D, who's in charge of that right now and couldn't be with us tonight, but I would say within 2 weeks, so be on the safe side. So, all right, well, Conjecture and Liberty are with us, so thought we'd do just a little bit of a live stream and, just kind of, talk about a couple of things here. So let's get this up in the next window. There we go, in case someone types something in. That way I can capture that. Okay.
Looks like we got Voodoo Queen in the chat.
Voodoo Queen, hello.
Guten Abend.
Let me figure out how to do a refresh on this. Because they didn't make it easy. They never make it easy. Okay,
yeah.
Refresh.
Yeah. Did you put in the, what do you call it, the link for the Discord? So the one or two individuals who are night owls, who don't have jobs or work at night or something,
Yep,
can join us?
absolutely.
Sweet.
Yep, so let's see. See if I can bring up my live stream on YouTube. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now I can see. Voodoo, welcome. Nice to have you here. Yeah, this is, we're officially getting things up and running here for, honest to God, for getting this organization up and running. No kidding. A lot of gears are turning to make it happen. So we can become the biggest lobby group in the state of Missouri, so we can actually get a lot more freedom here in this state. Hey there, American man.
Yeah. All we have to do is just beat out all those teachers' unions, and then we can become number one.
Yep. We'll work on public education too. Let's use, let's go ahead and start, thinking about ways we can actually use anti-commandeering doctrine to get the federal government out of the public school system.
Well, I mean, it's just pretty straightforward. The anti-commandeering doctrine doesn't allow the federal government to dictate how Missouri governs. You've just got to pass a bill to get the to alter that. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. Let's see.
And look at the story here I have on the screen here. Police, suspect in Georgia, Alabama shooting spree. Guy says he was targeting white men. Authorities in Georgia say a black man charged in a series of shootings says he was targeting white men as victims after claiming they wronged him all of his life. So the mainstream media is going to be all over this one, aren't they? Racially motivated shootings from a black man killing white people. I'll bet you that'll be prosecuted as a hate crime. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no.
You don't think it will? Am I shooting too high here?
It might. There's a chance, but I have my doubts. Particularly with where it is.
Conjecture, go ahead.
Sorry. Just gonna say, to quote the TV show Lie to Me, you mean the anti-white people in the police department,
Yeah.
or the anti-white people division, the hate crime department.
Yep.
Hmm.
So yeah, I find that interesting too. It is American Man who brought this story to my attention. We'll cover it tomorrow, probably a live stream. I'll coordinate with American Man. We're not going to cover it any more than that. I just thought I'd have that brought up so we have something on the actual screen here while we, like I said, made the announcements.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Yeah,
Yeah.
the hypocrisy that goes on is absolutely sickening.
Yep, it is. So that's one of the problems with America, but we don't have to deal with that in Missouri. If we can, once again, this organization can be really a big, wonderful thing. This Missouri Liberty Alliance. You have so many plans, so many things we can do with it. And, basically with a lot of people joining, the organization, we'll have some real clout, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, a Voodoo Queen, you see the link for Discord. If you ever want to come join the Discord and just come talk with us, I think the Discord is a necessary part of the organization so we can actually have voice communications. So if that's something you're interested in, please do consider setting up a Discord account, coming in and join us. And that goes for everyone who watches this video. We may not be in here all the time, but I think that it's going to grow with the organization.
Definitely. And it's going to be a key component too. We've got to have the conversation going.
Yep. We need to have strategy sessions and keep the conversation going. Make sure that everyone's interests are aligned for getting the Fed out of Missouri in any way we can. Promoting good legislation in Missouri and going after the bad legislation too. That's an important part.
Yeah.
Not to mention going after the bad politicians.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Politicians.
Yeah, we do have a couple here in Missouri, believe it or not.
Just a couple.
Yep.
Just a couple.
Yep. Yep.
I think it might be more than just a couple though.
Well, I know
just by
in the Senate alone, there's 3 pretty bad ones, but there's a few other bad ones, but they're not really bad. So we'll deal with all of that. Go ahead.
We get Voodoo Queen in the chat here asking, can Missouri dissolve unions?
I think Missouri just started dissolving the corporate United States of America. I don't think the union will ever be dissolved. We are a union. We always have been a union.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we are considered a country now is more along the lines of corporate America. We should be individual countries, every state. That's the way it was set up, actually. We were united in a few things. Go ahead.
The way it was set up is individual nation states that are in a union to form basically a committee of people to handle foreign affairs and the interstate commerce, and that is it. There's no way.
I want to put out there that in the Jeffersonian thing, in the Federalist Papers, Thomas Jefferson put out there that he believed the single most important right in the Union was the independence of the states. That the 10th Amendment was a right that superseded all other rights because it was the most important right. Because we were individual nations first, and not a centralized government like France.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to say the 9th Amendment too. Don't forget that one.
Yep. Voodoo Queen asks a question. She's talking like teachers' unions. Okay, I understand now. I'm sorry. I was thinking you were talking the United States, the Union, the United States. And actually, we talked about that earlier today in the Discord. The best way to dissolve teachers' unions is school vouchers, believe it or not. And dissolving teachers' unions is relative. I don't think we can dissolve it, but we can do a lot of damage to basically teachers' unions with school choice.
Yeah. Another thing is, even if the unions don't go away completely, it will strip them of their power to influence the legislature.
And if just want to inject another note, the president who got unions put into effect also said the one place where you shouldn't have unions was in the government.
Yep.
As in, you shouldn't have government or people attached to government money having a union to lobby the government with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And by the way,
that would apply to both teachers unions and police unions.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I want to state for the record, we do have some really, really good teachers in the system.
Oh yeah.
But the union itself is an issue. It's an issue. So it's politically charged. It's got an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. So I just want to say for the record, that wasn't, I'm not saying anything anti-teacher, because there are some really good ones out there. Really good ones. So, and I'm sure everyone here feels the same way.
Yeah, and the problem comes when you have the collectivist mindset in something that should be on an individual basis.
Well, on top of which, too, if you have a good teacher and there is an agenda in the teachers' union, the teacher is afraid to go against the union or speak against the union. Basically, it's the mentality they have in Japan. Don't be the nail that sticks out. It's the first one that gets hit by the hammer.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he fell out of the chat. I'm going to assume he got back to the house and had to reconnect to his Wi-Fi.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, give him a minute. He'll pop back in, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yep. So, do you guys, while you're with us here, any questions about what we're doing with the Missouri Liberty Alliance? What some of the plans are that we have, or anything like that? We intend to go for, by the way, this is, we can strategize later as a larger group inside the Discord, but we think one of the things we want to do for Legislative 2022 is make gold and silver money again in the state of Missouri. We are behind in that. I agree, but they're forced to teach Common Core and adjusted history. Yes, that is correct, Voodoo. They are powerless to go against that because of the unions. That's correct. I agree with you. So, but there are states that this year, 2021, have made gold and silver money again in their states. Utah was one of them. Tennessee was another. And there is one that I can't remember. But it's
Utah and Texas is one of them.
Texas.
Did you say Texas?
No, I said Tennessee and Utah.
Yeah, Texas is one of them.
Okay.
They now have state gold depositories.
Yep. Yep, that's what we need to do here in Missouri as well.
And keep in mind that even before this happens, you're more than welcome to trade in gold and silver. It's just that it's not legal tender, so it can't be taken everywhere. You can't, it's not recognized as such. But you're more than welcome to trade in it as it is now. So.
Yep. The importance of this the dollar is failing. I think we'll have to have a larger discussion later on when we have more people with us to actually talk about the benefits of actually having gold and silver introduced back into the monetary system in the state of Missouri. But imagine this. We have dollars. They only go down in value. And it's because of that, gold and silver are systematically going up in value. So how's about that for money? An actual, deflationary currency instead of an inflationary currency like the dollar. So your money is worth more the longer you hold it. That's what we used to have in the United States. Savings. People used to save money. There's no reason to anymore. Because the dollar loses value. So how is making gold and silver legal tender a good thing? That's a good thing because it helps to get us away from the Federal Reserve. That's actually, the dollar is weaponized. It's not just weaponized overseas, it's also weaponized here in the United States. They're stealing value from you by making you use that as currency. So American let's just say, for instance, you work a job. You're getting paid, let's just say, $15 an hour to work that job. And actually, the problem is it's losing value while you're working, even before you get paid. And then you get paid, and then you go out and buy stuff with it, and it's actually worth less than it was when you were actually working for that check. We have inflation to that level now. Also, it's because they're overprinting dollars that you can't save anymore. If you save in dollars, you lose value. So
Yep.
The old example I've used, American Man, is if you, and by the way, this is a hypothetical scenario, but let's say that your grandfather had 2 jars, and this is back in, let's just say, 1912. And in one jar, he put a gold coin, a 1 ounce gold coin. It was worth $20 back then, by the way. And then he also put a $20 bill in there, in the other jar. And he buries them in the earth, and then you exhume them in, let's say, 2012, exactly 100 years later. That gold coin is now worth at, let's see, 2012. That gold coin was worth $1,150. But that $20 was still only worth $20. And let me give you another example too. We're brainwashed. In this day and age, we're brainwashed. We can't even think of currency in terms of anything other than itself. So if I showed you $1 bill and said, how much is that worth? You'd say it's worth $1. You're not thinking in terms of, hey, that's 1/28th of an ounce of silver. You're not thinking that's, hey, that's 1/450th of the 27-inch monitor I want for my computer. But this is asset for asset. When it comes to American currency, we compare it to itself, and that creates a situation called nominal confusion that doesn't help you understand how bad inflation is. Will it change the face worth, like per ounce versus face value? Actually, it would be ounce value. Ounce value.
Ounce value.
It wouldn't be face value. They're not going to put it back into American coinage. So that means you would be using actual, honest to God, gold and silver coins and bars, and you could use that as currency in the state of Missouri if we can get that done.
Here's a good.
Go
Here's a solid example. If you have, say, you're at 1920, whatever, when the Model T first came out, and you spent, the Model T back then was about $600, so you would have spent 30 gold coins. Now, compared to the average new hatchback that you have now coming out in 2021, what you're spending is about the equivalent of 30 gold coins.
Yep, but it's now $30,000 versus, the $800. So that's because the value of the dollar has been slowly in the past. It's now much faster. It's eroding. So we've got to have a currency that doesn't lose value overnight, like the dollar's been doing. It steals value. It steals your time. Your time is actually. Jimmy D is trying to get a hold of me. Hey, hang on one second. Let me take the call from Jimmy D. You go ahead.
Okay. So the gold and silver, as it is, you can technically, if there's someone who's going to voluntarily take it, that's one thing. But the way that it is now, the currency is being so horribly debased.
Buddy. I just want to let you know we were going live, and we're live right now.
The only thing that's going to stabilize is a physical asset or a physical currency like gold and silver. Okay. It's the only way.
All right. Bye.
There is one other way. They could completely bunch of the digital currency they've made so it reduces it, but they're never going to do that. They are never going to do such a thing. And so it's the duty of the states to take responsibility and block the wrongdoing of the federal government. Let's see here.
I'm back now, by the way.
Huh?
I'm back. Sorry about that. That was Jimmy D. He wants to know when I'm going live because he's not getting notifications from YouTube. But he was on the phone with his mom when I called. So.
Speaking of that, everybody, don't forget to click the subscribe and bell button And
Yeah.
go ahead and click that drop-down menu and make sure you've got it on all.
Yep, that's right. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Father's Day came and went, and it's kind of the nature of things. Time seems to be accelerating right now. It's weird.
Oh, God. The way how fast things are moving along is insane.
Yeah, it's actually palpable. You can almost feel it.
I know you can feel the just the what's the word I'm looking for? You can almost feel the danger that's coming out of the federal government right now,
Yep.
and what's happening surrounding that.
Oh, Jimmy D's in the house. Yep, I'll throw you
Hey.
a wrench, Jimmy D.
Yeah, throw me a wrench on there too.
Yep.
Oh,
I
actually,
sure
am
will.
I in there? Yeah.
Yep, you are. Liberty
Nice.
Revolution. There we go. There we go. You guys are set up.
Yeah.
Okay. But Jimmy D went ahead and told everyone we've got a. So we go back pre-Nixa era into the gold standard. Technically, that would be correct, excepting for we were on a standard before without gold coins. We need to go back to gold coins and not gold just backing the dollar. So
Yeah, I need to go back to a pre-Roosevelt.
Yep. Hey,
currency.
it's Michelle. Hi there. Welcome. Yeah, we got more people coming in now. Awesome. Jimmy dragged in Michelle with him. That was awesome of you, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're actually getting more people. We thought we would this hour.
American Man writes, I wonder if Americans can start their own subculture where they can create their own economy and have their own currency. This way they can work for each other and support their own cities and groups. Yes, actually there's the Venus Project that is somewhat of what you're talking about, American Man. I think it's something that Americans are not quite ready for yet, but when our economy collapses, I think the Venus Project and things like it are going to be very, very attractive.
Mm-hmm. I will say though that is a good point. That is something that overall we can work for here to prepare for what is very, very likely to come in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And God bless you too, Michelle, by the way. And thank you for that. And so we got more folks in. Basically, the two announcements for tonight are, number one, our Discord group. If you look in the description section down below, there's a link to our Discord. If you have to set up a Discord account, but it's easy and it's free. And that way you can come in and voice chat with us, and that way we can have our strategy sessions and what we're going to do next, and basically get everyone's opinion on things, and also get different perspectives and points of view on everything we're working on. And then as Jimmy and I lobby up in Jefferson City, we can talk to you guys about what we're going through up there and the problems we're running into or the successes we've had. So that way we don't have to type and that sort of thing. If we can talk as well. And by the way, you don't have to voice chat in Discord. If you want to just type stuff in, you can. You can do it here too. So this is also. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you want to take it a step further, you can also video chat.
Yes, you can also video chat in here if you so choose. So, do we have any links to this idea? Final countdown. Are we talking about the Venus Project, or are you talking about gold and silver as money? Venus Project, you can easily Google. Gold and silver is money. I have to find out if any of our senators or representatives currently have any structured, let's just say, bills that they're ready to throw in for 2022. If not, basically I'm going to have to write it for them, or I could borrow from another states that out of the 3 states that have done it, I'll take the best one, and we'll change the language just for Missouri to make gold and silver money in Missouri.
Yeah, Patrick, if we end up if this group ends up, if you end up writing a bill yourself, I wouldn't mind being involved in some of that just to kind of.
Well, I'm hoping that everyone can get involved in writing the bill.
Oh yeah.
This is a group effort here.
A goal.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying that's the goal.
Yeah.
I had a few points that I thought of that might. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now because I got about 20 other things going through my head right now. But yeah, I had a couple other points regarding crap, I can't remember now, but they were important to that specific bill, in getting that done.
Yep, we could definitely chat about that. So, anytime. Take notes next time you think of it.
Yeah,
Because I swear that is going to be our signature bill, gang. Gold and
Mhm.
silver is money in the state of Missouri. I think that's important. It also sends a very strong message to the Federal Reserve, not just the federal government. But also it's necessary. We have to do that. We have to get people starting to use gold and silver because currency is losing value with all the printing that's been going on with the Federal Reserve. So it's a good idea to be in gold and silver anyway.
Yep,
And
definitely.
so that was the Discord thing here is a really helpful tool, for us to go forward with what we're doing with the Missouri Liberty Alliance. And we need more interactivity with people. We need people, like, for instance, let's just say, Michelle, you have an idea that you want to share with the group. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You can't sleep, but everyone else is asleep. You go into the Discord and you type it into the text chat, and so then it's there for all of us to see the next time we log in. It's kind of a neat thing here. And also, when we do these strategy sessions, I want to keep them off the YouTube channel, because then, basically, especially if we're doing something sensitive. If it's just gold and silver, that's not sensitive. But if it's more of a sensitive topic, like dealing with property taxes or teachers unions or things of that nature, we'll keep that more private.
Yeah, when you're strategizing on that kind of thing, you never know who's gonna watch that video later and see,
Yep.
oh well, they're gonna try this, and we need to do this to
Yep.
deflect it, and that.
That's right. And I intend to grow this organization with all of you, to be a force to be reckoned with in Missouri politics. You guys know what we're all about. With SEPA, I think that we think we know what you guys are all about too. I think a lot of folks here are not real happy with the federal government, so we want to minimize their presence in the state of Missouri and anything we can. I think we're all of like mind in that regard too. I think we think that we have some very seriously good legislatures in the state of Missouri that we need to support, and we also know there's good legislation coming out we need to support, and we need to fight the bad stuff too. And then also,
Yeah, you can't just.
go ahead.
Nope. There's a little bit of a delay, so I
There
ended
it
up
is.
saying something there.
Yep, you
You
go
were
ahead,
saying?
man.
Oh, okay. Crap. No, I was gonna say.
I'm sorry I did that.
It's late. You're good. No, you're good. It's late.
Okay.
Kind of.
And also to let you guys know that we are officially now taking donations. The donation link is down in the description section, so you guys can donate to the cause. The costs are as follows. Basically, we're getting a website done, and we're setting up a corporation, an LLC. We have to register the corporation. We're probably going to register the trademark, the name, and not probably, we're actually going to do it. And then also we have to register as lobbyists with the state of Missouri. So there are costs involved in setting up this organization. If anyone wants to help out with the costs, please do use the donate link. It would be very, very much appreciated. Let's see. And then, of course, Jimmy D is working on our very first t-shirt. We are going to come up with merchandise for the Missouri Liberty Alliance. We have some very exciting products that we're talking about doing that no one else does. So yes, we'll have t-shirts. Yes, we'll have hats. Yes, we'll have coffee mugs. But we're also going to have some other things that other people don't have. So that'll be fun and exciting.
Specifically geared toward the Liberty community.
We don't want to talk about them yet because we need to make sure we can do them, but we can have them done.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all we got to figure out.
Hey, we got Jimmy D in the live chat now.
Jimmy D, hey there, brother. Yep, you got to unmute your mic down below by your name on the lower left-hand side. I think you. Oh, hang on. Nope, nope, nope. That's not what it is. You just came in, so I need to give you a role. Actually, Jimmy's mod. Okay, Jimmy. Sir, remute, unmute. So all you have to do is unmute your mic, and you are in, sir.
Second.
No, he left. He'll come back though.
Yeah, he's trying to figure it out. I had a little trouble with it earlier too.
Yep. Well, he also doesn't have the best internet up there either.
Oh yeah, that would do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So, do you guys have any questions that you could think of? Anything that basically we can answer for you? By the way, it's Liberty Revolutionary. Is just another one of us that was working SEPA. That basically, caught me on Twitter. So we started, talking back and forth. So it's really nice to hear his voice now that we got a Discord going on. You guys are always welcome in here. You don't have to put on a microphone if you don't want to. So you can come in and just listen, actually, and to the conversation, then type in stuff if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of folks do that if they're uncomfortable being on a microphone, and that's okay. We understand that. It's not a requirement, is all I'm saying.
We always appreciate whatever ideas that can be put into the in for the cause.
Absolutely. And cultivating those ideas always benefits from a group.
Mm-hmm.
I have a slant. Liberty Revolutionary has a slant. Jimmy D has a slant. But when we all come together, we can get rid of those slants a lot easier. It's called critical thinking. It's group. It's literally using a group to do what we have a hard time doing by ourselves, which is critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And critical thinking is a difficult exercise for an individual. You have to get rid of all your biases and look at all points of view of a subject to make a good decision on it. Hey, Jimmy D, welcome back, brother. You unmute your mic, Jimmy D. On the lower left-hand side by your name, there's probably a red line going through your microphone. If you click on it, it will unmute your mic. And that's if you intended to have your mic up and running, by the way, Jimmy D. I only have a phone, so that will work great. Yep, you can use Discord on a phone as well. I use it on my phone more than I do my PC, actually.
Yeah, I usually do the same. Well, so far Jimmy D isn't unmuting.
Okay.
So
technical difficulties.
If you want to hop in, you can, but you don't have to. Let's see here.
So yes, the guys, the work that we're doing is only beginning because of SEPA. There's a lot of SEPA work. We have to defend SEPA first and foremost. You guys are familiar with the fact that the governor and our attorney general are actually fighting the battle now. It's on their turf, and it may come to the point where they need our help again, and we'll be ready for them if they need our help. But also too, there's more gun work that needs to be done in the state of Missouri. For instance, getting rid of gun-free zones. That's I think that's going to be Eric's top bill for next year, and that would be Eric Burleson, a senator that actually was the sponsor for SEPA in the Senate, and we got to work on that one next year as well.
Mm-hmm. Quick note, though, they're really not truly gun-free zones. What they are is fish-in-a-barrel zones.
Fish-in-a-barrel zones, that is correct. Just like...
go
ahead.
The sign isn't going to stop somebody from walking in there and doing something. The only thing that's going to stop them is if you got someone else willing to shoot back.
Yep. So, yeah, and I agree. Fish-in-a-barrel zones is correct. In fact, the No Child Left Behind bill, I often refer to as the No Teacher Left Behind bill. So, fish-in-a-barrel zones, that works too.
Yeah, man, we're going to have a little bit of comment, a little bit of laugh on this channel sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude,
TC, mic will not open. Okay, gotcha, Jimmy D. We'll work on that offline. That's okay, brother. At least you can hear us, though, inside the voice chat. So actually, you're getting real time. That's another thing. There's a delay on YouTube. You guys hear us about 10 seconds after we speak. That's why when there's a lot of people in the chat and things are going by fast, we're not really sure what they're referring to. Parsons is actually surprising me. Same here, Voodoo, because I happen to know for a fact that Aaron Doerr had to twist his arm nearly off out of its socket last year in 2020 because he was on the verge of actually saying red flag bills were a good thing. I'm not sure if you remember that, Voodoo, but it was Aaron Doerr, and I happen to have inside knowledge on that. Parsons has done the right thing since, so I'm not harping on him. I'm just saying that Aaron Doerr had a meeting with him that I think lasted about 15 minutes, and when Aaron was done meeting with him, he had changed a couple of his opinions. Let's just put it that way.
Here's my thing too. When I was I was there at the signing of SEPA, and there's a different mood when he went in. And he got all the smiles face and all, and he was getting up there and signing it. And I think something about the encouragement he got from the crowd, because it got loud in there. Everybody was chanting in his favor. So I think it kind of got that little bit of him up and going.
Yep, and we need to support Aaron Doerr as well, because he is now concentrating on getting this legislation done in Iowa. And we definitely want to help our brothers and sisters all over the United States get their freedoms back. The freedoms are not relegated to just us here in Missouri. I know I've said this in the videos, but it's something I feel very strongly about. So basically, our channel will probably help them out as well. We may end up doing a few stories for them in their states. Even some podcasts with some people, let's just say for instance from Iowa, that come on our Discord, and we can help them strategize on what they need to do, let them know what the pitfalls are, what to look out for, things of that nature. So I personally don't mind giving up some of my time to help other states get SEPA passed, and I'm sure that most of you feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot with that.
And by the way, it's good for us too here in Missouri, so it is somewhat selfish. It's not a good position for Missouri to be the only state with this. And I'm talking about SEPA. I'm talking about SEPA with teeth. SEPA that kicked out the Fed and also provided problems for the Fed if they stayed. But he also signed PDMP too, which bummed me out. Yes, he did. We're going to look at that really, really hard, Ryan, for 2022, because I think we're going to have to inject a new bill that actually clarifies that they do not have to follow HIPAA regulations. That was the catchphrase, the clause inside the PDMP bill, was literally adhering to all HIPAA standards. We're going to have to take out the data collection, basically for prescription medications, for red flag bills. So we're going to have to do that. And by the way, I intend to interview Jared Taylor on how PDMP actually got through the House. He has an interesting story on that, but I don't want to tell it. I want Jared to tell the story on an interview, because that was actually quite sneaky how they got it through.
Nice.
And it wasn't a good thing. Jared was very angry that it got through so easily, but it was a strategy used by, unfortunately, bad Republican actors in the House.
Yeah, it's not surprising at all.
And so there's very few of them, but they were able to do it. And that was to only allow one side of the argument in, when they were talking about the bill, in the perfection process. So that was the problem. And once again, I'm going to stop there because I don't know everything that happened because I wasn't following PDMP as closely as I should have. Guys, just so you know, I'm going to take a certain amount of personal responsibility for PDMP from going through, because I didn't focus on it. I was so focused on SEPA. That was it. That was it for me. And I remember talking to Ron Calzone, and Ron was saying, we need to focus on this and this. And I said, no, we're focusing on, dude, SEPA. That's it. We are running hard with it. We've got the ball, and we're running all the way to the end. Sneaky is not the word I would have used. Yeah, yeah. Well, this is a family-friendly, channel, Voodoo Queen. So, so yeah, We'll let, in fact, I intend to do several interviews with politicians. That's something we're incorporating into the Missouri Liberty Alliance. We're actually going to get press credentials too, and we'll probably get help from the 10th Amendment Center or Tom Woods to do so. And so we have big plans actually, and actually because of what we're doing, we're making a lot of friends. We're making inroads, and
Yeah.
so that will help us out as well. So, by the way, I'm not meaning to suggest that the 10th Amendment Center or Tom Woods are going to have us on their program or anything like that. I'm just saying that they can do things to help us on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Bolden has been a huge resource for people who do what we do at the 10th Amendment Center. So he has continued to support us, and he will continue supporting us. PDMP is Prescription Drug Medical Program, American Man.
I thought it was Prescription Drug Monitoring Program.
Monitoring Program. There you go. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, I looked at that one before, and it seemed kind of sketchy,
Yep.
to say the least.
Yep. It is sketchy. Basically, what they do with that, Michael's still not unmute. Sorry, guys. That's okay, Jimmy. We'll figure that out offline. Unfortunately, we're in a live stream right now, so we'll have to wait till another time to get that done for you. But we will get it done. You have my word, and we'll get it done quickly. But the Prescription Drug Monitoring Program is really kind of a backdoor into what's called red flag laws, where they can actually use your prescriptions against you to take away your firearms. And so that is a backdoor into red flag laws. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's not good. I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be used that way, but it is a tool that could be used that way.
Yeah,
So-
the thing is, as far as I can tell, from when I looked at SAFE the last time, is that they cite red flag laws as something that is not acceptable to be enforced. But the question is which way are they going to look at that? Is that something that, well, it's Missouri law, so it's this, or are they going to say, well, because it bans creating red flag laws in Missouri, so technically a red flag law wouldn't exist in Missouri law. But if there's something federal, is that going to apply to the section 571 or 570?
Right.
In the what's the word I'm looking for? In the SAPA.
Yep. So take it down. Yep, we'll work on that. Actually, that's something we'll work on. But once again, a final countdown. If for everyone, I know him as American Man 1967. So at any rate, so that's why you hear me call him American Man all the time. It's hard to get that out of my system. We were so focused on SAPA in this group, Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast, where we kind of assembled. We got all the information out to everyone, so we knew where to put the pressure. And Ron Calzone asked me to focus on some other things as well. And I said, dude, I have put so much time into SAPA. I can't bear the thought of it not getting through again another year. I'm putting all my energy into that. And so maybe it's partially my fault that even got through in the first place. There wasn't enough people making phone calls on PDMP, gang. That's just the fact. So I got to take some responsibility for that. And I'm sorry. I just was so focused, like I said, on SAPA. I've already said it. So at any rate, that's kind of what happened.
Don't be beating yourself up on it either. I mean, they're going to slip something through somewhere no matter what you do.
Yep. Ron Calzone, worked really hard to try and get that done, but he didn't have any help. He didn't have a whole lot of grassroots behind him shutting down PDMP. I did make personal phone calls on it, but I didn't make it a big enough issue in the channel. And I should have made it more of an issue. If people are calling up to talk to their senators and their representatives about supporting SAPA, they could be making in the same phone call, hey, shut down PDMP, please. And so, like I said, it's easy enough to carry two bills and their bill numbers with a phone call. It's when you get to 4 or 5, you're juggling that many bills that you're supporting. It gets a little more complicated, especially when you're disseminating information to a grassroots, base.
Mm-hmm.
People start going, oh gosh, he wants me to make phone calls on 5 different issues, and they would be right to do so. We need to really pick our battles.
And I highly doubt that the PDMP, based on how SEPA is worded regarding banning of red flag laws, I doubt that it would be used in that way.
Yeah.
And if they attempted to do so, they'd get the fine.
Yeah.
Let's prove that as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So, but at any rate, that's the story of PDMP. But I'll get better information when I interview Jared. And Jared and Eric, I'll probably do a couple of interviews with this summer each, and covering a couple of different bases. With Eric, I want to talk about what we went through to get SEPA passed for part of a documentary that I'm planning. And same thing with Jared. And then with Jared, I want to talk about PDMP. And with Eric on the second interview. And on the second interview with Eric, I want to talk about what he has planned for the no shooting the fish in the barrel zones. Because we got to get behind that legislation this year, and next year in 2022. Yep.
That's actually a good code word for this channel. Particularly since it's on YouTube, no fish in the barrel zones.
Yep. Actually, I don't think using that link, they're not really going after gun folks on YouTube. Not at this time, anyway. But I'll tell you what, though, if you want to talk about the beer flu, you have to be very, very careful. They will strike you and they will shut you down. I've had it happen to too many friends. So that's the one you got to be careful of, is the beer flu. And so, yeah, you won't. Let's see. Ryan says, yeah, but they won't use it to deny you on the NICS. Are you talking about the federal
National
database?
Yeah.
Okay.
The NICS system.
Yeah, they actually, I think they probably will use it. Here's the example, Ryan. So let's say that you're using medical marijuana, and then you don't want to tell anyone because it's no one else's business. But actually, when you go buy a gun, it does ask you on the form if you use marijuana. So there's a catch-22 here. If you do use marijuana, you don't get to have your gun, because that's a Schedule 1 drug, just like heroin, by the way. But here's
Or at least under.
Go ahead.
I was going to say at least under when you do a NICS check, and that's if it's in their system. But the way SEPA is written, it applies to Missouri law only, and that is legal in Missouri.
Yep, but once again, you're going through. This is why we have to set up something here for state firearms licensing, is to solve these issues, because you're going through an FFL to buy the gun, and they're going by the federal laws. So, but at any rate, here's the problem. Here's catch-2 now. If you lied and said, no, I don't use marijuana because you're on medical marijuana, they already know when you're actually applying for that gun. And now, number one, you can't have the gun, and number two, you lied on a federal form. So it gets really sticky at that point. I don't encourage anyone to lie ever, but now people who have medical marijuana, because they don't want to be on opioids, they don't want to be on cocaine or morphine, they prefer medical marijuana. And by the way, I have friends, and my own daughter has been on medical marijuana, and she says it is so much better than the prescription pain kills, because they make it so well that it kills the pain and you don't lose your mind. You don't go fuzzy, in other words. And so my daughter, prefers that. She doesn't want to get all fuzzy. She's raising kids. She can't get that way. She can't get all loopy to the point where, she can't do anything, or she doesn't care or understand, or her reaction times, are greatly affected. So medical marijuana is something that literally can be used to stop someone from buying a firearm. And we have medical marijuana in Missouri. So that is that. Okay, I don't want to keep kicking the dead horse. I think you guys get all my points.
Yeah. I will say, though, that, you're safe in a private sale now in Missouri regarding that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just, no there.
Yep. But there's other controlled substances like anxiety and depression. I think if it's any control. Yes, that's true, Ryan. These are very, very good points. This is why PDMP should not have been allowed to pass in its current form.
Hmm.
That it.
I will.
Go ahead.
I will say though that in compare, the federal government classifies them differently. So like if it's a prescribed something that is a Schedule 2, those are the things that can be subscribed I can't even talk straight. Prescribed, and those won't be an issue on your form. But the Mary Jane there, it's a Schedule 1 according to federal law.
Yeah. Yep. So that's once again, that's a very, very good point, and that's a sticky situation we're in now because that bill got through so easily, and it shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we'll be very, very careful in the future with what we do. We'll pick our battles very carefully, but when new information comes out, all information will go out. And I just didn't want to, inundate everyone with making calls on this bill and that bill. You remember the anti-COVID tyranny bill? Ron, really wanted support with that. And that was yet another bill. And I was like, Ron, I'm focused on SEPA. Dude, I love you, man. I love you, Ron, but SEPA is my thing, and that's what I'm working my group with. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone came together on. We all agreed the Fed should not have any control over our right to bear arms in the state of Missouri. And so I just wanted to push that and make sure that everyone was focused on that. And so at any rate, like I said, within the organization we're forming now, we'll be able to handle more stuff. And so that will be very helpful. And by the way, there'll be more people making videos than just me on this channel. So I'm not saying we're putting up a variety show, it's just everyone only has so much time. So basically, this is our group. This isn't, Timmy, I'm sorry, Patrick. Everyone knows my name is Patrick. This isn't Patrick's thing, Patrick's group. Patrick, does this, Patrick does that. No, it's us. It's always been us.
This is the group Grassroots of Missouri.
That's right. And in fact, there's what we're starting. There's only one other grassroots that's similar to ours, and that's Ron Calzone's. Now, there is Aaron Doors, but it is solely focused on literally the right to bear arms. Our focus is going to be a little more broad. So we'll cover other things other than just the Second Amendment or the right to bear arms.
Another thing too is on the anti-Cerveza bill. There was a chunk of that did make it into, I think it was HB 271 and got signed into law.
Right, and that was actually preventing COVID passports for the state of Missouri. So, in other words, good point. Thank you for that, Liberty. What Liberty just said basically is you can literally touch down on an airplane in Missouri without having a COVID passport and take off from an airport in Missouri without having a COVID air. And by the way, it's not like anyone's requiring them yet, but we know that's coming because the federal government wants them so bad. So that's why. Go ahead.
It says any place that accepts public funds, any institution, or what's the word I'm looking for, or public transit or municipality that accepts public funds cannot require them.
Yeah. So
So that should include colleges as well.
Yep. The airport scenario is just so easy to bring up. You're right. It's broader than that, but I'm really, really appreciating having you on here with me, Liberty. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.
You can cover the things that I mess up or I forget. But it's important stuff, and we're going to cover a lot more with this organization. Guys, we're going to make Missouri the best state in the union to live in. I guarantee it. If we come together on this and we do it the right way and we know how to do it, basically we can have one hell of an organization that there is no legislator in Missouri, except for maybe, of course, for your really stubborn Democrats, that will ignore us. We're going to get the right thing done here in Missouri. We're going to make it freer than any other state. Um, we're going to get the Fed out of a lot of things. Getting them out of the Second Amendment was just the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, unless you are illegal, no passport needed. That's right, Voodoo. That's a little bit of a problem we tend to have here in America. And, it's worth bringing up. It's anti-commandeering doctrine that allowed for that sort of thing to happen, for sanctuary cities in California. So it works for them. We're going to use it to get rid of the Fed out of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been used against marijuana. It's been used against immigration. It's been used against let's see here. Oh, it's been used against the federal profitable sharing program. That's another thing we need to go after here.
Yep.
And it's been used against the FDA with their raw milk sales. And even when prohibition was quote unquote constitutional, you can't see me doing air quotes there, but hey, when alcohol prohibition was constitutional, it was used against that as well, and it was upheld.
Yep. And by the way, gang, another thing that I'd like to talk about real soon, so I'll probably do a video on this real soon, is the fact that the federal government actually has legislation to actually refer to libertarians as terrorists, and that cannot stand. If you guys remember, back in the 1950s, the federal government went after communists, and apparently they're okay with communists now. It's libertarians that are the problem. Those pesky libertarians that literally want government to leave them alone, then they'll leave government alone. The pesky libertarians that want property rights, the pesky libertarians that don't want to hurt anybody. Those are the terrorists of the new age now, apparently, because they absolutely do not jive with the federal program.
Oh, and then there's the pesky libertarian that wants to show up at the city council meeting and say, "Why can't I paint my own barn?"
Yep. Oh, yeah. And the pesky libertarian that is, constantly asking why we have to grow government. And also the pesky libertarian that knows his Constitution.
Oh yeah, that's just downright evil, isn't it?
Actually, yeah. Cops hate people that know the Constitution, gang.
Oh, I know.
It's an unfortunate situation with some law enforcement officers. Some of them are quite impressed when you can actually cite the Constitution. Which basically the Constitution doesn't talk about your rights. That's actually in the first 10 amendments we call a Bill of Rights. The Constitution is about limitations on government. So, so basically,
the reality of
go ahead.
I was gonna say the reality of how the Constitution is written. Yeah, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, are saying that the government can't touch any of this.
Yep.
But the actual Constitution itself is a list of very specific delegated powers, and the Supremacy Clause is what is indirectly in pursuance thereof. Anything outside of that is a barefaced usurpation of power. And it has to be read just like a contract between the states, because that's what it is. It's a contract between the states that these select few powers are delegated here to handle these things.
Yeah.
And then you have to read it like you would any contract with the original definitions of the words as it was written.
Yeah.
As well as the testimony thereof.
86F here. I'm not sure what that means.
86 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, Fahrenheit. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, there's no degree button on a keyboard or anything.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, right on there, money and liberty. Right on the money, liberty, he says. Yep, but that's part of what we're going to do, too. That's part of our charter is education. We have to educate folks, and I'm not saying us. Our group is pretty well educated. I'm saying many Missourians do need to understand the Constitution better and what their rights are better. Yeah. So. Okay.
Here's something that popped into my brain.
Go ahead.
Keep saying.
Well, Ryan just wrote in. They can label me whatever they want. I'm not sitting down and shutting up. I am sick of disappearing liberties and rights. That's right. I agree with you, Ryan, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the same boat. That's why this organization is needed in Missouri. Is
But
basically just go ahead.
what are they going to do if they put 2 million people on a list? Nothing.
Yep. Yep. So,
Uh,
we will deal with all of this stuff. Basically, we do need to grow our numbers. That's another thing I'm going to ask you guys to do, and I don't do it enough when I'm making videos. Please help grow the channel. And by the way, more social media is coming very quickly. The Discord is brand new. That's another part of our social media. But we're going to have Twitter. We're going to have Facebook. And we'll be on Odyssey. We'll be on BitChute. And probably something else. There's one more I'm forgetting right now. I can't remember. But we're going to have all of those. So basically, whatever platforms you guys are on, there'll be a way to share it. So please help
probably
us.
do,
Go ahead.
probably ought to do D Live as well.
Oh, DLive. That was it. Thank you. I already
Yeah.
have a DLive account, actually.
Okay.
And Voodoo says she has a Pocket Constitution. I have it too. In fact, I have several copies of the Pocket Constitution. I once ordered a 20-pack, and I was actually handing them out to people in real life, as opposed to online. um, so I still have like 6 of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a copy of it on my phone. So
Yeah, but the paper copy one is really
yeah, I need
freaking
to get a
cool.
paper copy.
Yeah,
I need to
keep it in
pick
your
up a
glove
paper
box.
copy.
You get pulled over. Hey, reach into my glove box there, officer. Take out the Constitution. Let's talk a bit. Yeah. I don't want you reaching for anything. That's all right. My registration's in there, but so is my pocket Constitution.
Yes, yes, yes. The better question is which kind of copy you're going to get at that point. You're going to get one that actually believes in the Constitution, will read it, or one that is just going to ignore it outright.
Once again, a good question. It just kind of depends. So, but guys,
the latter of the,
go ahead.
I was going to say the former of the two is rather becoming more rare, and the latter of the two is becoming more common.
Yep. Guys, I was going to say, if you don't do anything else, kind of memorize what your rights are in the first 10 amendments. It's really good to know all of your rights in the first 10 amendments always. So, as states' rights, by the way, the 10th Amendment is actually what we used in the state of Missouri to get our rights back from the federal government on the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, the Second Amendment. I'm sorry.
The power is not delegated to the United States, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved to the states and the people respectively.
That's correct. And one thing many people don't know is the Second Amendment actually isn't a right. The right to bear arms actually comes from our Creator. It's not given to us by the Constitution. It's natural law. And so that's the right to self-defense. And so at any rate, that's what the federal government keeps whittling away on, is our right to self-defense. And we can't do that anymore. We can't let them do that anymore. So that's why.
And another thing too is anytime someone tries to tell you, well, the 10th Amendment doesn't apply here, look at the second part of the second part after the first comma. Power is not delegated to the United States, nor prohibited to it by the states.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the 10th Amendment is what we're going to do to start getting the federal government out of Missouri on certain things. In fact, in most things, in my opinion. But, we have to be realistic with our goals here, too. So, we'll promote very, very good stuff, basically that gets us our freedoms back. We have given up too much. We draw the line here, no further. And so we've started. We've got a governor and an attorney general that have our backs. Thank God. They could have folded. I mean, I'm just saying this. I don't want to turn it into a strange commentary, but look what happened to these other states, Liberty. Montana, Arizona, and Texas. They dropped their teeth. They dropped all their teeth from their SEPA bills. And I
Texas
go ahead.
Texas dropped pretty much everything except for suppressors.
Yeah. So
I mean,
that was weird.
Even, yeah, I actually even because I was talking to Bolden over on Twitter before, and I told you this, but might as well say everybody else. He said he was actually somewhat impressed with the AG and the governor here. He was surprised.
Yep. Well, you know what it is? I gotta say it, gang. It's you. It's all of you. Guys, you have no idea how big of an impact the grassroots made on SEPA. I mean, it's very critical. We give a lot of credit to big people like Aaron Dorr, Eric Burleson, Jared Taylor, Ron Calzone, because they were the insiders, right? They did the job on the inside. But the fact of the matter is, you guys have no idea how much power they got from the calls and the emails and the visits from the grassroots. That gave them so much power to get their work done on the inside. That's why we didn't lose our teeth. And that's what the other states were missing. They had no grassroots connection for those bills. So we learned a lot.
It's just amazing.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, it's just amazing.
Yeah. But collectively, we learned a lot. Many of us have never been so involved, not necessarily me, but many people have never been so involved in the political process in the state of Missouri before as they were with SEPA. And we learned a lot in this process. Now it's time to take that knowledge and get other good bills passed in Missouri. So we need everyone's help, though. We need the gang. There is definitely power in numbers. Oh, good night, American man. Take care, buddy. Jimmy D says they grew. Go ahead.
I was saying, auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Abend. Or Das Vidanya.
That's Russian.
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say Gute Nacht is good night.
Yeah.
In German.
Okay.
Eine Deutsche.
Yeah, that's right. Das Vidanya is goodbye.
Yeah.
So it's not good night. Isn't our AG running for Senate? Who will we get then? Someone who will fold? Well, Ryan, that's why our organization needs to safeguard SEPA, no matter what. We can't give that up. That was a hard fought battle, a tremendous victory, and it's now something we've got to protect. And that's why the federal government's not going after any other states, only Missouri, because they had no teeth. So basically, we will make sure that there's grassroots behind SEPA always, so we don't get anyone who folds. And if an attorney general takes a unilateral action and folds, we'll have him prosecuted, actually. So, and then we'll get it reinstated instantly with the new attorney general. And if they want to keep their positions, they better listen at Jimmy D. That's right. Yep, that's right. I'll stick Jimmy D on them. They don't want that, trust me. Jimmy D, I love you, man. You're a fighter. Jimmy D has been my partner in crime since day one. And for those of you who don't know the story, Jimmy D and then a very good friend of ours who has since passed away, are Jimmy D and David, who has passed away, are responsible for getting me in this fight. So, Jimmy D, love you, man, and I appreciate you for everything you do, man. Hey, cheers from Hunter, the pipe expert. Hey there. How's it going, Hunter?
I was going to say something else, too, and that's that, because there is a lot of censorship goes on with social media. But if we have people that are throughout the state here that are listening to this and getting information from this, I was almost thinking that we could create a PDF of a flyer that has a QR code on it.
That goes right to the website that we're developing.
Right to the website. It would say there is a link tree. You know what link tree is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, if we had a link tree or even just a Google document with just the a Google Docs document or that had like a PDF of all the links that are hyperlinks on it
Hey, Joe
that we
Mama
would just
joined
update
us.
regularly.
Hey there, Joe Mama. You have a microphone if you choose to speak now, and welcome. And once again, it's not a requirement. If you just want to come in and listen, you're good. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry for that, Liberty.
Well, I was just going to say that if we made flyers that people could print out on their printer at home, and then they could tack them up at the local grocery store on the community board, that would have a QR code on it.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. That's a very, very good idea. Hey, Joe Mama.
Yeah, I'm the one under that Hunter Biden name on YouTube.
Okay, gotcha. Welcome, Hunter.
Yeah, I be dicking around on YouTube. It pisses Google off,
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Love the picture, though. Isn't that Hunter Biden in a bathtub smoking crack? I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
Yeah, that is exactly what that is.
I just be having some fun with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, in fact, as Liberty said earlier, we got to laugh on some of this stuff because, it's just the world is so interesting these days. It's hard to laugh sometimes.
Here's the thing. When the world is getting crazy, if you can't laugh about it, there's something up. I mean, you've got to laugh about it because it keeps your spirits up, and then in turn, it helps you do more.
Yeah. Scott Mason. Hey there, buddy.
Absolutely. Life is too short not to have a laugh,
Yeah, I think
if you can't get a laugh in,
I don't
if you
see
can't get a
Scott
laugh
Mason. I
in,
think.
you're going to age a lot faster if you can't laugh.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, red flag laws are already illegal in Missouri now.
Well,
since SEPA has been passed.
Yeah, SEPA along with Amendment 5. But I need to look into that a little further, Scott, because PDMP really got Ron upset when that got through. And I was saying, don't worry, we got SEPA, and SEPA with Amendment 5. And he goes, yeah, I think you're right. We'll look harder into that. Actually, Scott, I'm going to write that down. That's something I need to investigate to make sure that red flag laws do not apply in Missouri. The only problem is that PDMP may supersede that. Unfortunately, through basically the medical situation, HIPAA. So I need to talk to Ron again. So I'm writing it down right now. Amendment 5.
My only thing is that it's with the way that SEPA works.
Plus SEPA.
The only thing that would make that a red flag, and that is I'm just trying to think here because of how it ends up working. See, medical marijuana is legal here, and that is written in Missouri law.
Yep.
And same thing goes for other things. It's not specifically in Missouri law. And then you have SEPA, which has no red flag laws. The only thing there ever could be is a federal red flag law. They would try to do something, but that still couldn't be enforced here.
Yep.
So, I don't think, and even with HIPAA things on there as well, with the sharing of information, I still don't think that could, because the SEPA specifically defaults to Missouri law.
Yeah, I'm confused on that because once again, I think medical is like the only runaround to red flag laws with Amendment 5 and SEPA. So, and that's because of HIPAA, just because of HIPAA. So
it's just another way for the government to use people as political pawns. That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, but at the same time, it's a valid question. Basically with red flag laws, I think because we think of red flag laws as being medical now because of PDMP, before PDMP, when we thought red flag laws, we were thinking your neighbor called up the police department and said, "Oh my goodness, my neighbor is just so crazy. You know, he's a Trump supporter. You know, he's always brandishing firearms on his property. You know, we need to do something about him." Then the police comes and takes your guns, suspecting that you're a terrorist or whatever else. You know, basically under some weird rule. You know, with the police department. You know, it's the same basic thing they got the McCluskeys on. And by the way, that's another conversation we should have. Why did the McCluskeys literally give in court? They
Yeah, I
didn't
have an
to.
opinion on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I will not be voting for the McCloskey if he runs for Senate in Missouri. If I was him, I would have not have pleaded guilty even to a misdemeanor. I don't care what kind of years I was facing.
Yeah.
Just to give in to the radical left is insane. I don't care if it's a misdemeanor or felony. I see, and he said he's a lawyer. How, if he's such a good lawyer, why would he plead to something like that? He was defending his property.
Yeah, stand your ground law.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
I look at him as weak. I will not vote for him if he runs for Senate. I'll vote for Eric Greitens, but I will not be voting for that guy. Whatever, I forget his name. McCloskey guy.
Yeah. Here's my thought on the matter. I think because he knows where he is, and because the act that they had in question was committed there, they would have put it in front of a jury, which is from there. And the court of public opinion tends to be a majority of anti-gun, anti-this, anti-defense there in St. Louis. My thought is that I think he knew that if he could get a plea deal that was that low, the way that works in Missouri with that specific one he got, it doesn't compromise any rights, it just gets a fine. So I figured that was the easy way out.
He handed his guns over. You know that, right? He even handed his guns over.
Yeah,
he had to forfeit his guns.
You're right. Something's wrong here. Something smells fishy. Voodoo says, I think they were threatened. Scott Mason says, so he can run for Senate. His bark is worse than his bite. Scott, by that, do you mean that he was worried about actually having a felony count on his record and he could not run for Senate? Because there's no way they could have turned that into a felony. No way.
Yeah.
In fact, it's even the misdemeanor charge is bogus under stand your ground law.
Well, even that misdemeanor charge that he pleaded guilty to is low enough that it's not supposed to cost you your rights.
Yep.
It was a class 4 misdemeanor, or it was the class D misdemeanor, which is the bottom of the line.
Yep.
They still made him forfeit his guns. They still made him. So that don't make sense. Then if he wasn't supposed to lose his rights, then why did he have to forfeit his guns? Something does smell fishy to me.
Yep,
It
I
is
agree.
fishy.
It is. You're right, Joe Mama. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that because I think and actually it's been suggested that through our organization that we actually vet him, for his Senate run. He's running as a Republican, but he does have extremely strong Democratic ties, as Scott Mason had pointed out. Guys, I've actually done a video talking about him. I'm very skeptical about, basically his entire campaign.
Like I said, I'm voting for Eric Greitens. If he runs, even Eric Greitens has gone down to the border. He's taking a stance against the Democratic left, the radical left, and I think I'm going to go vote Eric Greitens again.
Gotcha. You're talking about for governor? Is he running for governor again?
No, he's running for Senate.
Oh, he's running for Senate. Okay, gotcha. I didn't even know he was running for the Senate position. Okay. Good to know.
Oh yeah. He got acquitted of all that crap from when he was governor.
Yep.
He's not running for the Senate. He's even gone down to the border. He went somewhere else too. He's really taking a stance against. He's pissed off. He's pissed off at the radical left because they made him step down being governor with these bogus charges, and then they overwhelmed him to where he had to step down.
Yep. And actually, Casey Rich, welcome to the party, buddy. Casey Rich says the guy wouldn't fight for his own rights. Will he fight for yours if he's in office? Good question, Casey Rich. Good question.
I agree with Casey Rich on this. I feel he's too weak. I don't think he will. I don't think he'll defend it. Like Eric Grimes defended himself pretty good, but the McCloskeys, no, they bowed down. They bowed down.
Yep. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm looking at this right now. The class D misdemeanor that he got is, and I remember that it was a $500 fine plus $10 to the crime whatever research thing, and that's a class D misdemeanor. That does not strip you of your rights.
Okay.
He just gave in.
Yeah, but if you go and look up him handing out his guns over, he did do that. He gave up his gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gave in. He wimped out.
He did. Something's up here, gang, and I think we'll probably get more information on that soon. Because basically, everyone who knew that he was running for Senate is wondering why he gave in. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't, and it's very disturbing. You know, because even Kim Gardner, who was prosecuting the case, she got her she got all of her cases taken away from her. Word on the street is she's actually being disbarred
Yeah.
from the Missouri bar, so she can't practice law anymore. That, by the way, that's a rumor. I shouldn't say that's a fact. That's just a rumor.
I heard some of that too, though.
Yep. That's why all of her
can't
cases
guarantee
were
it.
taken away. There was so much, dispropriety, going on with the case here. There was a political slant. She was using that case to promote her campaign to run for her position again in 2020, in November 2020, not too long ago, 6 months ago. So for that alone, I mean, she should be disbarred. Basically taking a highly politicized case that was not solved, and using it as a campaign, basically trinket. But that's why we fear. I think that's the reason we all figured she was actually trying to prosecute them in the first place.
Yeah.
Let's see. Governor said he would pardon them. Yeah. Yep.
You know, Kim Gardner was backed by George Soros and funded by George Soros.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. George Soros is probably the number one funder of the extreme left in the country.
Yeah, and he's been really pushing to get a lot of prosecutors inserted into places in the country strategically.
And would you do me a favor and watch that chat for me? Unfortunately, I've got to take my dog outside. I can stick with you guys because I have a wireless headset, though.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Crap, I need to exit that and go back to.
Okay, Timmy.
Let's see. Just gonna pardon them. It's just the insanity.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just because that a class D misdemeanor, that's literally a $500 fine, and there's no it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Class D misdemeanor.
Yep. And, he was just really defiant when he came out of the courtroom. I can't remember his exact quote, but it just seemed weird. Everything about this is weird. So, yeah, guys, we'll look into that because he's supposedly a viable candidate for the Senate. He does need vetting. And unfortunately, he has a lot of popularity now, because of this whole case to begin with. He went up against, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, with the gun. So he's popular for that. But if he's not worth his salt because he has a lot of, let's just say it, left-leaning idealism going on there. And this is the thing, guys, we'll talk about this more later. But it is something that bears examination for us personally and also as a state. The Communist Party has infiltrated the left. Now, I don't think anyone here would dispute that. So let's just say Marxism. Maybe don't say the Communist Party. That was wrong of me. Marxist ideals have infiltrated the left. So let's make sure that libertarianism infiltrates the right. And so basically we have a counter for that. So in
Mhm.
Missouri, we have a strong component of that, actually. If any of you have not been able to treat yourself to a little speech by Bill Eigel, I encourage you to go to Liberty Revolutionary's YouTube channel. He has an audio snippet from Bill Eigel speaking on the Senate floor, and it's only like 2 or 3 minutes long, isn't it, Liberty?
Yeah, and
Yep.
he's just flat out calling out the Fed for what they are.
Yep.
Uh,
So he won't even give the feds enough common courtesy to call them the federal government when he does floor speeches. He calls them our federal overlords.
the federal government, but then he decided. Then he continued to degrade them afterwards.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but Scott Mason here says, not sure why he hasn't been tried on war crimes. I don't know exactly who he's talking about, but that came in a few minutes ago.
Okay. War crimes. I'm curious about that. Who
I don't know if he's talking about Soros or if he's talking
Oh,
about...
Soros. Yes. Yes. Soros. But at the same time, Soros was very young, and I'm not sure how much we're talking about Hitler's, the Nazis, in Germany, because he was a Nazi sympathizer, but I'm not sure he was a soldier or actually killed anyone. But he was definitely a Nazi sympathizer.
He was really young. Last time I checked, he was still a kid at that time, but he would have been old enough to be Hitler Youth. It's kind of like Klaus Schwab.
Yep.
He was by the time the war ended, he was about 5 or 6. So he would have been just getting into.
Yeah, Joe Mama, go ahead, buddy.
Keep going, I'm sorry. You want to hear another interesting fact about World War II and another sympathizer with Coca-Cola? You know how Orange Fanta was created, right?
Orange Fanta. I'm not sure what Orange Fanta is.
The Fanta.
Orange Fanta
soda.
Yeah. It's a soft drink made by Coca-Cola. It was created in World War II because there were sanctions. Our companies could not sell to the Nazis. So and Coca-Cola got banned, so they created Orange Fanta to still be able to sell a soft beverage to the Nazis. A lot of people don't know Orange Fanta was created to still be able to sell a soft drink to the Nazis.
Yeah, there was a lot of fascism going on in the United States. At the same time, it was going on in Nazi Germany.
Going on.
There was a lot of American corporations participating in the Nazi war engine. And also, like, for instance, I can give you a Bayer was definitely...
Yeah, I was about to bring up Bayer.
Who produces the... Bayer was the one who produced the gas.
Mustard gas.
That's correct.
Mustard gas. It was the nerve gas that was used in the gas chambers.
And let's not forget IBM, that actually came up with the barcoding that they put on the Jews' arms, so they could literally create the very first computer database known to man for literally enslaving the Jews in these work, labor, death camps.
Yeah.
And that barcoding system.
I'm not quite certain whether he was a teen or not, if you're talking about Soros, but I want to say he may have been, but I was talking about Klaus Schwab, who was about 5 years old when the war ended. His father was, oh crap, I can't remember his first name now, but his father was what was it? He was a really high-ranking Nazi, and he basically was trying to help the Nazis get the nuke, and then they bailed out to Switzerland after the war. Anyway.
So there's a lot of companies that were helping out the Nazis, for sure. And that's something that, escaped the entire process with the trials. They didn't put IBM or Coca-Cola or Bayer on trial. Well, that's because of the fascism, because they were also working with the American government. So that's why, and they were also working with other governments.
The federal government today, and I've said this before, but a lot of you weren't here in the chat, the federal government today is, by definition, fascist. And the reason being is because it has corporations involved with the state, and to the extent that the corporations do the bidding of the state.
Yep.
If you have just pure state control, that is communism.
Yeah.
We're in the direction of pure control that is by what we are there anyway. That is controlled by both corporation and state.
Actually, I did a
That's the
video
only
on
difference.
this with Truth, Money, and Freedom. And I'm not going to contradict you because fascism is a big element of our government here, but we also have a lot of socialism here. So, so for
And
instance,
fascism is just
go ahead.
corporate socialism,
Right.
and of course, yeah.
So it's a mixture of the two. That video is still on record. It's nearly 3 years old, but I was actually defining the types of governments in that video and letting people know that we are not a constitutional republic. We haven't been since probably 1871. So that's when it kind of ended, and we started going in a different direction with the type of government. But as Saul Alinsky said in his book Rules for Radicals, the change that you make to incorporate communism into an existing society, an existing country, is a very slow one. And that way people don't immediately notice what's happening. But states like Missouri have noticed this. Thank God.
Yeah.
We've noticed this, and we're making changes to get the government, the federal government, out of the state. Slowly but surely, just as slowly as they took it over, we're getting them out.
I'm going to cite a quote that I had said to Patrick the other day from John Dickinson, 1764. All artful rulers who strive to extend their power beyond its just limits endeavor to give their acts as much semblance of legality as possible. Those who succeed him venture to go a little further, for each new act is strengthened by a former. That which growing old becomes an example itself, thus supporting fresh acts of usurpation. And that has never rang more true.
Yep. So this is going to be one of our primary goals, and this is not only common sense, but it's also advice from a very good friend, and that's Michael Bolden with the 10th Amendment Center. Safeguard your SEPA, and we're gonna safeguard it. We're gonna be the guardians. We're gonna make sure that they don't damage it with another piece of legislation down the road, with just 2 or 3 sentences in a different piece of legislation that starts to damage SEPA. You know, I would prefer SEPA be incorporated into the Missouri Constitution, and maybe that's something we can work towards. You know, but that would have to put it in front of the voters. You know, basically that's not something we can do through legislation. That's the voters have to decide on that whenever there's an amendment to our Constitution. But just like conceal carry, or constitutional conceal carry, I meant to say, sorry. So the voters made the decision on that, and they overwhelmingly said, yes, please.
Yep. And the only thing that'd be hard about is doing it right now, because there's a lot of people that are still uncertain about the whole thing too.
Yep. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The only way you can incorporate that into the Constitution, or at least in terms, because you can either go through the legislature to have it put on the ballot, or you can go around and get several 100,000 signatures to have it put on the ballot in the state.
Yep. So that way it can't be messed with or tampered with. You know, that way it can't be slightly altered by some other piece of legislation. Guys, we need to go through every single piece of legislation that actually gets through to committee. You know, we need to watch this stuff. You know, Ron Calzone's good at doing this too. So we'll lean on Ron just a little bit. He'll be our crutch as we get our feet wet in this. What we're forming... I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Scott Mason asked, I missed it a second ago, says, how much money would the state lose if the administration stopped funding us? Well, first off, the anti-commandeering doctrine, it's been upheld in Supreme Court that they cannot cut funding as a result of it. And on top of that, if they did, we would end up probably just filing legislation to stop funding them. Let's see here. And then Voodoo Queen says, if you boycott all the companies that the government backed, like Walmart, Coca-Cola, etc., they can't survive. I have for several years. Well, that's not 100% the case because the Federal Reserve bails them out every time.
Yep.
And you'll never get more than, half the country. No, you're never going to get more than half the country is just going to stop using all of those.
I stopped drinking Dr. Pepper because it's bottled by Coca-Cola and Pepsi. A lot of people think Coca-Cola owns Dr. Pepper, or a lot of people don't know that Dr. Pepper is actually its own soda company, and they are bottled by Pepsi and Coke. And Dr. Pepper has said in previous years that they're talking about bottling their own soda again. I wish Dr. Pepper would do that because I would actually go back to drinking Dr. Pepper. But as long as Coca-Cola is bottling some of their product, I can't drink it. I quit drinking Coke products altogether. I buy Pepsi and 100% Pepsi if I'm drinking soda, or I'll make tea. I'll drink,
Good for you,
I'll drink
man.
beer.
That's right. You vote with your wallet. When Coca-Cola pisses you off because they're supporting Black Lives Matter or Antifa, you stop using their product. That's all you have to do. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I will not buy a Coke product for nothing. Even when I go to McDonald's now, I just tell them, hey, keep the drink. Keep the drink.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same, but I have my addictions.
I'm a little bit of a Dr. Pepper
I have my
fiend.
addictions too. I'm a doctor, yeah. I have my addictions too, but I also have my beliefs. My addictions can. I love my country more than I love my addictions. My country
Good
comes
for you,
first.
man.
So my only thing about it is the way I figure it is that without at the bare minimum, about half the people that use it now stop using it, which is highly unlikely. The Fed's just going to keep bailing them out. And the same thing goes with any corporation that's really on the S&P 500. Any of them. They're not going to let them fall until the Fed falls.
Yep. And for those of you who joined us late, let me throw it in again. We're talking from our brand new Discord that is dedicated directly to the Missouri Liberty Alliance. We're open for business now. The link is down below in the description section. We also have a way to take donations to help us with the cost of getting this organization up and running. The costs are as follows. Website, domain name, LLC. We have to set that up. We have to register with the state of Missouri, the business name. And also we have to register a trademark. And also register as lobbyists with the state of Missouri. This is not a joke, gang. We're doing this. It's getting done. And we're going to create a very powerful lobby for good things in the state of Missouri.
Let's see here.
Oh, and
let's see here.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Merchandise. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe Mama.
No, you're good. Do you have a domain name already picked out?
Yep.
Is the website already up and running?
No, it's not. I'm gonna start on it in approximately 2 weeks. There's a lot of little cogs in motion right now. Like, for instance, on the trademark, we want to incorporate the Missouri seal. And
Oh, I love that. I love
Yep.
that.
so basically, in order to do that, I need to contact the Secretary of State's office and make sure that we can do a trademark with the seal of the state of Missouri in it. And I'm thinking we can, but we have to be careful because once you go for a trademark, you can't get your money back. So, and it's an expensive process to get a trademark done. So, we're going to trademark a logo, and we're trademarking the name, Missouri Liberty Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
When you do this, let me know. Give me some flyers. Give me some business cards. Hell, if you even want to, give me a magnet, or I'll put a magnet on my car. I got a nice car. I'll promote it. I'll promote it like crazy.
Hey, it'd be, thank you so much for that offer. Please promote us on your social media. The YouTube channel is what we're really using right now. Facebook and Twitter are literally coming this week. And with Facebook, it's going to be a group. So we're forming a group on Facebook for this. So
You should form a page and a group.
yeah, we'll do a page too.
Mhm.
So basically, we're this is not just cheap talk. This is getting done, and you guys are all invited to the party, every one of you. And
Mhm.
let's make Missouri the best state in the entire United States to live in, bar none. Like for instance, we have some close competition. Texas and New Hampshire, yeah, are pretty good states to
Absolutely,
live in
buddy.
too. Um, but other than that, I think we have the most freedoms, the most liberties out of all the other states in the union. And my God, guys, that is something to be really proud of. SEPA with
Mhm.
teeth, guys. We did it. We frickin' did it. We have this now. No other state even has this. You know, all of you who made phone calls, who sent emails, who made visits to Jeff City, thank you so much. This is
You already know
beautiful.
I was on it like crazy. You
Yeah,
already know I was on it like crazy. I had friends calling. I had family calling. I was not playing when it came to safe.
yeah, me neither. And like I said,
Mhm.
I I dumped my life to get SEPA done, especially this year. You know, I just didn't do anything else. All I did was work SEPA. It was so important to me too. So Joe Mama, you were not alone. I mean, it was that important to me as well. And so, and yes, I had people in real life calling. My neighbor James actually went up to Kansas City. We met Casey Rich there. Um, and then Ron Calzone was there. Um, so we went stumping for at least a couple hours before the Senate went into session. Yeah, that we worked hard on that. I mean, we all did, and thank God we
Mhm.
got it. And it's something to be real proud of as a Missourian that we actually got this done. I'm proud that the Department of Justice is pissed off at us. That makes me happy. That means we're doing something right.
If the federal government isn't pissed off at you, you're not doing something right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and so basically that's our goal. That's our goal is to make Missouri the freest state of the entire union with the most liberties. That's what the Missouri Alliance is all about.
You ever watched that YouTube channel, God, Family, and Guns? It's a Missouri. He's a Missourian, by the way.
Yep, I know Mark.
Uh,
Yeah, I know him. Yes, I do know of his channel.
you know Mark?
No, I don't know him personally, but
Man, I was gonna say, I love his videos. I love his content. Oh crap, there's like a power surge going on. Hold on.
Where are you at anyway?
I'm in Washington, Missouri, in Franklin County.
Franklin County.
Ooh. You
You're
might. I'm trying to think exactly where that is. Is that towards central Missouri, or is that?
It's it's by St. Charles. I'd say I'm 30 minutes away from St. Charles.
yeah, St.
It's
Louis
probably
area.
Yeah. It's right out of St. Louis. I think we got a bad storm coming in.
You do.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
storm just came through here.
yeah. Shame on you, Liberty, for sending bad weather over to Joe Mama. Guys, I'm looking at my north. I'm outside with my dog right now. I'm looking in my north skies and I'm seeing lightning strikes just be over the horizon. So that
Yeah,
storm is heading for us too.
yeah. It all formed directly on top of here.
If I cut out for no reason and I'm not on here, just note my electric went out because
Okay,
my light's going in and out right now. Everything.
understood,
No,
buddy.
it's
Be
fine.
safe. Be safe. So
Hey, if you're
if
in St. Charles, don't you have Idle for your senator?
I live in Franklin County. But St. Charles County is huge. I grew up in St. Charles County, but I moved
Yeah.
out here to Franklin County because I like the politics out here more. It's cheaper out here. When it comes to like renting, I pay $500 a month. The same apartment I got right now, I pay $500 a month for would be like $900 a month out there in St. Charles. You know.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
moved out here to save money. I'm very conservative on my money.
Yeah,
And,
that's all right,
very
man.
cheap.
Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's your hard-earned cash, dude. You don't give it away.
Well, actually, just give it away to a guy that has gold or silver, so he can give you the gold or silver.
Or yep.
Hell, I make credit cards. Companies pay me money. I don't pay. My friend right now. I got a friend right now. He's sitting here and he's saying, I won't. You don't play the credit game. I play. The only reason I play the credit game is because I know how to make the credit card companies pay me. You pay your balance off in full by the end of every month.
That's
You're
right.
fine. I'm sitting here, dude. Last year I made $600 off of Discover alone, just in rewards.
Yep.
I'm making them bastards pay me.
Yep.
I love it when they're paying me instead of me paying them.
Yep. Good for you,
Nice.
man. And I do much the same thing, by the way. So, yeah, I don't carry balances.
Nice.
Yep. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Timmy ran around the other side of the house. The reason I go outside at night with my dog is because we have coyotes out here. So I am well armed in case that happens.
Yeah.
Hey, you hear we've been hearing black bears here in Missouri too.
Yeah, now where we live, there's rare when there is literally a sighting of a bear in, I'm southeast of Springfield. I'm sorry, southwest of Springfield. So really rare when bear sightings are around here. I think there's been 2 since my wife and I moved down here 25 years ago.
I think there's only been one in Franklin
Timmy.
County, and that was like 3 years ago.
Come on, Timmy. Yeah, you want to come inside too easily right now. What do you have in your mouth?
Oh.
Yeah, it's an apple. It must have been an apple fell off the tree. Good boy, Timmy. You want a treat? Want a treat? No? You have to drop whatever you have in your mouth to take this.
Yeah, just don't let him get the just don't let him get it's one thing if you give him an apple, just don't let him get the core.
Oh no, he eats the cores too.
Oh, the core of the seeds have arsenic.
Yep, but also you have to eat them in large quantity for that to even bother you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
see
back
here.
at my computer, by the way, gang. So, sorry about that.
Let's see
Storming
here.
in Columbia.
I missed something in here. I think I missed something. Oh, let's see. Voodoo Queen says got to scoot 5 a.m. comes early. Yeah. All right. That was
Voodoo?
at that was 7 minutes ago. I missed it.
Okay.
I just looked outside. The wind is getting so bad it looks like it's about to blow over some trees and shit out here.
Oh boy. Stay safe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind is starting to kick up out here too. That's low pressure coming in. By the way, Scott Mason says we have a lot of misinformation on our SEPA. I am going to personally take the responsibility of making sure the misinformation gets cut out. And I will personally do that. Now, I may not be the best at doing that, but also I don't see any of their YouTube channels talking about this. So whenever there's misinformation, I will do a video with actually the language from the bill. You may have seen a video I did, I think it was yesterday, where I actually took the bill and brought it out to actually disprove what the police chief said. I don't think he believed it. Guys, one more thing. I had to be very careful how I dealt with that situation on YouTube, because they do have rules about badgering people or bullying people. So at any rate, that's why I treated that cop story the way I did. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So don't think that I didn't know what was going on with that cop. And by the way, I think it's the first of many, by the way. I think we're going to have many more law enforcement leaving their positions because they disagree politically or ideologically with SEPA legislation.
Yeah, I don't think that's even close to the only one. Jimmy D says what I missed.
Oh, hey Jimmy D. I don't know. I went outside, because Timmy Chonga needed to go outside.
Yeah, he said he had to go out inside and smoke though. So.
Did you hear what happened over there in Portland? Their riot police all resigned. They're still cops, but they resigned from being part of riot patrol.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, and Proud Boys and Antifa, they got into a fight over there in Portland just the other day. It was it got real bad. It's all over YouTube. Oh, and in California, Walgreens got robbed. Like a couple people went into Walgreens in broad daylight with their security there and everything, and robbed them. Security didn't do shit, nothing.
Wow. Huh.
Mm.
Can you hear me, gang?
It's getting crazy out there. It's really getting crazy out there, you know?
It is. It is
Yeah,
getting
it's
crazy
not
out there.
surprising.
So basically, law enforcement has officially changed. So, and I talked about this in the video, and I tried to, prepare, basically law enforcement for it mentally with the videos I put out. Change is coming. We can either do SEPA or we can take Biden's change. And that was my position. Those who want Biden's change, basically, honest to God, I just prefer they don't have a voice. That's my personal opinion, but they do have a right to their opinion. But I think people who want Biden's change are actually few and far between, actually, in Missouri. I don't think they're anywhere near the majority.
Yeah, no, not
Today,
even close.
Today I was at the laundromat, and there was a guy that moved from Washington, the state of Washington, to Washington, Missouri. Ain't that weird? Because that's where I live, Washington, Missouri. And he believes this whole critical race theory nonsense. He's a stronghold Democrat. Supports Joe Biden, everything. Me and him got to a debate. It got interrupted, but he's a stronghold Democrat. We need to no longer be on social media talking about this. We need to get up close and personal. We need to be out there because big tech's going to censor us regardless. So
Yeah.
we need to actually be out there on the streets, passing out flyers, something, because it's not doing it with social media. Social media is censoring us with their algorithms and nonsense. And
Yeah, well, this is something that I was talking about earlier. How we need to do stuff in regards to say, public speaking things, various whether it be flyers that people print off and put up on a billboard, because that's pretty much censorship proof. If it's not being directed through traffic via YouTube, then it can be directed by someone scanning a QR code in the grocery store on the public pinup board. Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that too. That's a really good idea. But social media, I'm telling you, gang, is the way we're going to spread the word the fastest. The best and fastest spreading of the word about our organization and what we're doing is going to come through social media.
I agree with you. Wording is everything. If you're going to go to the social media approach, be smart on how you word it.
Yep.
And another way I think we should go is billboards. Billboards, flyers, even radio. 97.1, the Missouri radio station, would be a good way to go.
Actually, I've been on there twice.
Billboards are really, really expensive.
Yes, they are.
I mean,
well, if we grow big enough, it's a possibility. But I'll tell you what, though, 97.1. Actually, I've been on there twice. Actually, with Bo Matthews, and I was on Monday, and I don't even know how to get it. I don't get that radio station down here. So, but at any rate, I think it's probably time very soon. Guys, we got to get some critical stuff out of the way first here. But I'm going to start doing radio spots. And also, we're looking for press credentials. Going to start looking to be interviewed by the big libertarians on YouTube to bring attention to what we're doing here in Missouri. So there's lots of plans here. Also, too, with the press credentials, that'll give us access to government officials for interviews and setting up press conferences in Jeff City. So, so at any rate, that's something that we're looking to do as well. This is a big, big operation we have planned. You know, and go ahead.
Have you ever heard of the Epoch Times?
Epoch Times, yes, I'm familiar with them. Yes.
You should try to get Epoch Times to report on it. And we could, oh man, if you could get Epoch Times or, I don't know, Project Veritas is more of a whistleblower organization, but, or Judicial Watch. If you can get them in on this,
Yep.
They can help spread this message.
Yep. And we will. We'll get coverage from these places. You know, Tom Woods and the 10th Amendment Center are two organizations that I think can help us. So that's ones we're thinking of too. And also, when we start doing our gold and silver as money legislation here in Missouri, that'll give us plenty of opportunity to be talking to the public as well.
Yeah, another person that would be really good. That would be really good if we were in his sights was Andrew Napolitano.
Yeah. Yep. Famous libertarian judge.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
he's the one who has gone on. I mean, whether it be left or right-leaning media and whatnot, and touted the anti-commandeering doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
In case I lose y'all ever heard of Natoli Engineering?
No.
Natoli Engineering is they work for the pharmaceutical companies. They make pill presses and whatnot. Anyways, my best friend, his stepdad's the CEO and owner of Natoli Engineering, and he's saying Bitcoin is a scam, and he said Bitcoin will not last. And I don't know to believe him or not on that, but I believe in a way, and not just that. Bitcoin's going up against the central banks. The central banks are speaking out on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And I forget what country, but he said that another country is trying to take over Bitcoin anyway. And have you all noticed these corporations are not running air conditioners or businesses? Like the government's telling them to not have air conditioning so they can save electricity. Are they using that electricity for mining? I don't know what's going on here, but I smell some fishy shit going on. And I don't know if Bitcoin's going to last or cryptocurrency in general. From what I'm hearing, is he like I said, he's the CEO of Natoli Engineering. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And when I hear him say that crypto's not going to last, I take them words serious. He's serious about his money. He spent, I think he owns like 40, 50 acres out there in St. Charles. And the acreage he bought, he spent like 100, 200, he's like $190,000 back in the 90s on. That same real estate is now netted it's worth like $6 million. That's a hell of a profit.
Yeah.
So I take this guy serious. When he says crypto's not going to last, I'm taking that serious. What do you think?
I think crypto is going to last, but I also think that they have plans for Bitcoin, and by they I'm talking about the world financial elite. So let's just say that it's my opinion that Bitcoin will be incorporated into the SDR. It may end up being involved in the world reserve currency. So I think they have plans for Bitcoin. Now, as far as the other crypto goes, Ethereum is probably, without a doubt, the most important crypto there is. And I could go into a lot of technical explanations as to why, but that is my opinion. It's more important than Bitcoin, actually. So Ethereum is actually something that I see going up tremendously in value in time. So those who missed the bandwagon of getting, Bitcoin when it was cheap, may want to seriously consider looking into Ethereum. And by the way, I am not a financial consultant. So, crypto is here to stay. But the 3,000 different cryptos that we have out there, very, very precious few of those 3,000 are going to survive. And
I think I see Monero surviving.
Yep, Monero, privacy coins. Yep.
What do you think of Litecoin and Dogecoin?
I think Litecoin may survive. I think Dogecoin is a distraction. I think Dogecoin will die.
Mm-hmm.
It has no practical purpose, no use case, other than Elon Musk owned a bunch of it and then promoted it on Twitter, and he made an awful lot of money doing that.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, there was that one adult coin that was coming around for a while that I can't mention its name on YouTube.
Yep. So I'm not advocating for any specific investment, gang. I was advising people to get into Bitcoin in the doldrums in 2019. And I'm not advising anyone to get into crypto anymore because it's gone up tremendously since then. And I'm not sure what the crypto... I'm removed from the crypto markets now because I literally just kind of dedicated all my free time to SEPA.
Mm-hmm.
So I've not been following crypto. In the Truth, Money, and Freedom Discord, we have people who are doing that. But since I'm not getting in there as much as I used to, I've lost my, my edge with, being on top of what's new. So at any rate, just so you know, that's kind of my position on crypto. I still hold some crypto, but once again, I'm not trading or anything. I'm just holding. And so, but I also hold silver and gold, and that's my big investment. I very much like silver and gold, particularly silver. And so, at any rate, that's an important one that we all need to look at. Guys, we're potentially going into some really big inflation right now. And so you guys need to protect yourselves at least a little bit. So please investigate gold and silver. Please educate yourselves on why they have always been the best thing to have going into inflation. I'm not advocating for anyone to purchase anything, by the way. Sorry, it sounds like a weird disclaimer, but, people have been sued over that sort of thing on YouTube.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to wrap it up because I have to get up in the morning, too. Oh, hang on. So I'm back on the chat now. Let's see. Some of you guys' voices are breaking up on Discord. Jimmy, am I breaking up? Or I know Liberty's breaking up.
Am I?
Yeah, you're breaking up, bud.
Oh, okay. Well, it probably has something to do with them through my computer.
Okay.
Are you getting a storm out there?
We had the storm come through.
Okay, Michelle is saying, Pat, look into the radio program called Gary on Guns, 93.9 FM out of Columbia. All right, I'll tell you what. Let me write that down.
I don't know if I'll get that in, but I'm going to write that down too. 93.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow, man, so... but I got a dentist appointment, too, tomorrow. So. That dentist appointment takes until 12:30, so I'm good.
Okay, thank you for
That's
that.
always fun.
Let's see. Jimmy says he's getting no audio on Discord. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. We'll have to look into that, Jimmy. Let's see. Yep. And Michelle, thank you very much, by the way, for... hang on. Are you guys hearing us okay? Will you give us a 5x5, even though we're wrapping up here real quick? Let us know if you can still hear, basically us talking. Right now, let me take a look at OBS. OBS testing 1 2. Yep, OBS is picking it up, and I'm definitely getting audio from Liberty. There's been static with Liberty, so I could check the audio levels there.
Yeah, I'm running through my computer. It's been doing some funky stuff.
Yep,
So
I know your computer status there, and yes, it is affecting you just a little bit. You break up a little bit while you're talking, but you're still understandable.
okay.
Okay, we'll talk later, man. Let's see what we can do to improve your computer situation there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Pat, and all from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for the recommendation. I'll go ahead and give a call over there, and let's see. I'm getting no audio on Discord. Thanks, bro. Yeah, 5x5 for Michelle. Awesome. Okay, good deal.
All
Yeah,
right.
Jimmy. Yeah, we'll have to work on your technical issues when we're not streaming, but we'll get that done quickly. Because what we do here in this Discord, the streams we do from this Discord, will become more common in the Missouri Liberty Alliance. So we'll be doing more live streams. Go ahead.
Before you cut out on everything, there's a warning I wanted to give everybody.
Sure.
We already know the NSA listens to people and spies on people, and we already know the CIA does. They say CIA is more other countries, but yeah. Anyways, the post office is now spying on people's social media, so everybody is aware. The post office is spying on people's social media, as they should be focused on packages and getting things out on time. Now the post office is spying on people's social media, so everybody is aware.
Yeah, I heard about this about a month ago.
You know what, though? If they're spying on us as anything like their customer service, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
I mean,
agree on that.
well, I mean, like I said earlier, what are they going to do? Put millions of people on a list? What are they going to do about it?
Delay our packages, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I do want people to be aware. Supposedly, the post office is spying on people's social media pages. They're looking for alt-right extremists or anybody they claim is an alt-right extremist. But yeah, just so everybody knows.
Thank you for that. And by the
Yeah,
way, that's
basically
something that... Go ahead.
Basically, anybody that is, what is that? Anywhere right of an absolute communist or fascist.
Yeah.
Anybody that's just slightly right of that,
Yep.
to them is the enemy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be doing a video on this soon. It's important for people to understand why the federal government doesn't like libertarians and why they consider them a threat. Because the federal government doesn't spell out... Go ahead.
I'm a conservative constitutionalist. I am not no libertarian.
Yep.
And that goes for conservatives everywhere. I believe in the Constitution. I believe that document our forefathers put in place was there for a reason. I understand its importance.
Yep. Good. You know, that's actually a good showing right there. And conservative constitutionalist is actually a very, very, very powerful title, and it's very apt, I think, for almost all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, but since there's no, basically it's probably psychological, since there's no conservative constitutionalist party to vote for, but there is a libertarian party, I think more people identify with a political party than they do, for instance, a political ideology. The few exceptions are people who call themselves Marxists or actually anarchists. So oddly enough, you know, pretty much opposite ends of the political spectrum don't identify or are not big on political identities.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of us have, you know, a little bit of brainwashing we have to get out of our system. So I get your point, Joe Mama.
Yeah, myself, I'm an ANCAP, so.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, gang. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm getting super tired, so we're going to wrap her up. I know we went a long time tonight, over 2 hours. Like I said, we thought we'd open up the Discord and do it live on YouTube when we did it. So you guys knew about us. You guys can come in anytime now. It's in the description section right down below. It's easy to actually come in here. It's free. You set up an account with the username and password. It's all it takes. And, you know, basically come in and join the conversation. It'd be really, really nice to be able to get away from all the typing. However, we will have email lists. That will be done as well. And when we start doing memberships with the organization, once we get all the paperwork done and get the LLC done and all that fun stuff. So we will be doing that thing too. Regular emails out to everybody about, you know, what's on the radar, what we need to be concentrating on. And like I said, guys, this is an honest-to-God lobbying organization we're starting right now. And hopefully we'll be the biggest one in Missouri and we can have the most impact. So, you know, we have some good lobbies out there. We have Ron Calzone. And actually, let me take that back. Ron is not a lobbyist. The state tried to peg him as a lobbyist because there's certain rules that apply when you're a lobbyist. So, but Ron does not collect money. He does not take donations. But Ron's in a very specific position to be able to do so. Unfortunately, we are not. So we also are, for the time being right now, we're taking donations, but also we're going to have memberships and we're going to have merchandise. We're going to have it all. So we'll take care of it through that, all of our costs.
And keep in mind we're also avoiding the 501c3 with the federal government.
Thank you, Liberty. I forgot to mention that. We're avoiding 501c3 and 501c4 because we don't want to get into bed with the federal government at all. So we're registering as a for-profit organization. Not that we're going to get profit, but that way we don't have to get into bed with the Fed.
Yeah, 10th Amendment does the same thing.
I was about to say, ain't that the nonprofit? Apparently it is. But and another thing, is there going to be membership fees? And if there is, how much?
Yep, we haven't actually decided that yet. But yes, there will be membership fees. So, but at the same time, it's going to be set up much like the 10th Amendment Center. I think we're probably going to do a voluntary membership fee. So the 10th Amendment Center, I just admire Michael so much in what he does, the volunteerist approach he has. I think we're going to do much the same thing. So we are going to do that. We're going to the corporate, you know, basically strategy. It will be for profit because I don't want to take this organization into a 501c3 where there are Fed rules that we have to go by. Don't want to do it. And also, too, when you're a 501c3 or a 501c4, you can't advocate for a specific politician. I don't know if you guys do that. So since we will not be in bed with the Fed, we will be in a position to be able to create voter lists for Missouri. And, you know, basically, you know, let people know, you know, basically voting records and who they may want to consider voting for based on their pro-life stance, based on their gun stance, you know, based on, you know, any number of things. We're also going to be doing questionnaires. That's another big thing. Like I said, guys, there's so much we haven't told you yet. And I apologize about that, but I forget about all of it. But we're going to be doing questionnaires to politicians and for those running for office. And they're going to be letting our organization know where they stand and that we can hold their feet to the fire.
What kind of transparency is the organization going to have?
Total transparency. This isn't going to be a black box operation, if that's what you're asking.
Like I said, I'm down to get involved. I want to make sure that we're going to be doing what we say we're doing.
You bet, we sure are. We'll be extremely visible up in Jeff City, trust me. So, yeah, I know we got to mingle with the Jeff City folks. That's part of what we intend to do. I did it for SEPA, and I just didn't do it the proper way. But I did it, and So basically, what that means is I was talking to people who are not my reps and not my senators and trying to sway them. As a lobbyist, you have, you're representing a larger base of people that are, literally in their voting districts. So
Mhm.
that way you can go in there and tell them what their voters want. See what I mean, gang? There's a certain, yes, and Ron Calzone is in a very, very unique position. Um, so he's got it going on in a way that I wish I could. We have to take donations, though, unfortunately, because this is the costs involved in getting this whole thing set up. Aaron Dorr is a registered lobbyist, so Aaron Dorr can go talk to anybody and have just as much weight with anyone he talks to, because he is also representing people in their voting district in his organization. So that's the difference. So that's why I think we're going to end up having to be registered as lobbyists.
Mhm.
Not that I really wanted to go that route, but I think that's probably what makes more sense. So yeah, we'll take care of all that stuff on the inside. And when I'm talking about taking care of all that stuff on the inside, is the lobbying aspect, the registering to be a lobbyist. But yep, any registration or any paperwork that we have in the corporation will be available.
Mhm.
Total transparency. And then also too, I'll be doing live videos when the legislative season begins. I'll be doing, yeah, holy moly, this is still live. I'll have to watch back. Yep, no problem, Gabriel. We went off topic quite a bit here, but we're just kind of shooting the breeze a little bit and talking about ideas for the corporation, for the lobbying, basically for the organization, the Missouri Liberty Alliance.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
I'm gonna send you my phone number and my address and a private message. I want you to mail me stuff because I want to be a cold-hearted member. I support the movement.
Sure.
And I want to make sure, like I said,
Sure. Absolutely, man.
I want to be part of this, man. I really do. And,
All right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna send you my private my information in a private message.
Okay, no problem, buddy. Yep, and we'll be, like I said, we'll have another live stream next week. Well, hang on. We have out-of-state guests next weekend. So I'm not sure I'll be doing a live stream, but by next weekend, we will have our Twitter and our Facebook up and running. So it is coming, gang. We'll be on those platforms as well. And basically, the biggest thing everyone can do is really to share that information with others. So when we do a video, please share it on social media, on your social medias. We'll, of course, put it on our social medias, but to get the word out so we can grow the organization. There's power in numbers. So basically, that's the whole point of this. If we have 2,000 people in Missouri Liberty Alliance, no one can ignore that. Not a single politician in Jeff City can ignore an organization that large, that is working towards goals, that's trying to get legislation done. They literally cannot ignore that. That's too many people. So that's why we need to grow this. And this is also the period before the legislative season begins for 2022. So this is our time to get all this stuff set up, get all the paperwork out of the way. Basically, Jimmy and I are at the top of this. We're at the forefront. And basically, we're going to have a CPA handle all financial transactions. So that would, because we're a very conservative organization, we have to expect audits. So we're just going to have a CPA handle everything. So, like I said, it's involved. Normally, when a corporation gets set up for the purpose of lobbying, they're not going to share all that information out. But Jimmy and I are pretty transparent about this stuff. So, and so is Liberty Revolutionary.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here listening, kind of dazed and off I thought so.
Hmm. That's all right. I'm a bit of a talker, so I
Oh
could.
no, you're good. You're good. Just keep going.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, yeah, it's for real, gang. It's for real, and it's for the betterment of Missouri, for freedom and liberty. And
And
so,
by the way, I'm a revolutionary liberty on Twitter, but
yeah,
Liberty Revolution on YouTube. And the reason being is because I got my down there a couple of times on the one with the little blue bird. Wasn't
I go by,
yeah.
I
yes.
go by Mark Fakebook on Facebook. If anybody needs to find me, Mark Fakebook.
Okay, gotcha. I'll tell you what, when the time comes, and the time is coming literally in a week, we will have Facebook up and running. We'll do another live out of our Discord to let everyone know about our new Facebook. So that's coming
Alright.
too. So basically, I've had the Timmy Chonga account on Facebook literally for 6 years. It's my dog. It's got a picture of my dog. The bio is about my dog. And I have to, because I'm gonna have to start going by my real name, gang. Because of what we're doing here. I can't go up to
Yeah.
Jeff City and say, "Hey, I'm Timmy Chonga from Missouri Liberty Alliance." They all know who I am up there anyway.
Yeah.
But
I just added you on Facebook, Patrick.
okay, gotcha. Yep, Timmy Chonga. So let's see. There are a number of priorities for next year. Yes, M. Gabriel. That's what our strategy sessions will be about on the Discord group. We need everyone's input to make sure that, basically we're all rowing in the same direction. And will I be able to see the text chat in Discord? Yes, you can. If you come into Discord, it's not a requirement to talk like we're talking in Discord right now. So you can use the text side if you want. And yes, you'll be able to see the text chat in Discord. YouTube
Yeah,
will still
there's a
be
way you can
used.
just. Yeah, and there's a way you can flip away from this screen that has the three names on it. Then you can see the text under there,
Yep.
and the voice will be in the drop-down menu on the side.
Yep.
Hey, Patrick, I didn't know you were a taste tester.
Yeah, Timmy Chonga's a taste tester for Rawhide Industries. Yep. So,
Man, that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
That's
you got a
awesome,
little
man.
bit more info. That's TMI, too much information. Timmy Chonga loves Rawhide. And so, but yeah, so
No,
my wife and I share that account, by the way. So, my wife is generally on it more than I am. I've been using it to post stuff to the gun groups. There's a ton of Missouri gun groups in Facebook. So that's the only reason I go on is to post the videos. And I got a lot of people involved in SEPA in there. So will YouTube still be used? Absolutely. YouTube is our primary tool. I don't even think BitChute or Odyssey will be primary for us. It'll always be YouTube primary, and then the others will all be secondary at this time. If we need to switch it up, we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yep, Discord open and running. You guys can all come in whenever you want. And once again, this is not a deal where you have to come in and you have to talk. You can always type if you want to. How do I text in Discord? I'm in there but haven't joined voice. Hang on one second. Let me get into the chat. And Jimmy D. M. Gabriel, there you are. I just need to give you permissions, which I'm giving you right now. Roles, trusted. There we go. Now you have the ability to type in the, yep. Yep, we're seeing you live right now.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Yep. Yep, that's Conjecture's doing. Conjecture built the bot for us, by the way. And he called it the Libertas bot, which of course is, if you guys don't know, that's Latin for liberty.
Nice.
Yep.
Conjecture is one guy I talked to last time on Discord in Truth, Money, and Freedom.
Yeah.
And that's a smart kid.
Yes, he is. We're
That
lucky.
dude's gonna go for it.
Yes,
That
he
dude's
is.
going to go for it.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to get him to help us out with the Missouri Liberty Alliance. He's very interested. And actually, he's already helped. So I shouldn't have said that. Conjecture's been a big help, actually. So,
I like him. Just talking to him, when I talk to him, seems like a really down to earth guy.
yep, he sure is. He is that. And actually, he was on here earlier, when we started the live stream, by the way. So,
Mhm.
but he'll still be here.
It's a bummer. I missed him. Tell him next time you talk to him, if I'm not on here, tell him I said what's up and keep doing good work.
You bet, I
Appreciate it.
certainly will. Yep. So it's that easy. M. Gabriel, did you have to set up a Discord account, M. Gabriel, or did you already have one? I'm just curious. And so Gabriel is not in the voice chat, so he's dealing with like a 10 or 15 second delay from YouTube.
Mhm.
So that's the wonderful thing about this. Actually, Liberty and I, are in real time, and Joe Mama. So those of you who listen on YouTube, you're actually hearing our words literally like 15 seconds after they're spoken. It'd be nice when we start building up this Discord as well. We could all get together and chat and, basically strategize and plan and figure stuff out.
And there's
if
a
anybody's
I was gonna
sorry,
say,
go ahead. Larry.
there's a video option on here too. So if you wanted to just go ahead and pop in and show who you are as well, that's
Yep.
always an option.
Yep, we'll do the video. Not tonight, but definitely in the future we'll be doing the video. So you guys can see
Hey,
us.
if anybody's wondering who Joe Mama is, my real name is John. I always say that. If anybody wants to say Joe Mama or John, it don't bother me.
Yep. And Gabriel, yes, you can listen only in voice. So if you come in, you just don't activate your mic, and you can listen in real time.
Mhm.
Pardon me. Yep, so that's a good option right there. And by the way, in our Truth, Money, and Freedom Discord server, that is a popular option. Some people will come in and listen to us like we're a talk show. And they just listen. They never, we have people that have been with us for 7 years. We've never heard their voice. But they come in all the time and listen. But they type. So it's not like they're lurking.
Not just eavesdropping.
Yep. Yep. So they just don't want to talk, and I respect that. Go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with that either. Just eavesdropping in.
Yep.
Ah. Let's see here.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, gang, I do have to wrap it up. I'm getting super tired. I hate to break it off at this point. I'm sorry we started so late. That was because I was outside watering my trees. So they hadn't had a drink in a long time. My young fruit trees. So
Hey, you doing what you gotta do, man. And it's been nice talking to you, Patrick. I know it's been like a month. I've been real busy.
hey, that's all right,
And,
buddy.
but I like what you're doing. I really do. And I love that you're representing Missouri in a great way, man.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Like I said, it's because of you and people like you that we're doing what we're doing. I'm just an organizer, but I can't do the work of 2,000 people. It's my God. Thank you all for SEPA. I can't say that enough. You guys are freaking awesome.
If there's anything I can do to help moving forward, feel free to let me know.
Sure.
I will be glad to do what I can too.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And they'll be coming, when we go into the 2022 legislative year, we're going to schedule, and we're going to do it on a regular basis, working up in Jeff City together. So we'll all meet up in Jeff City, and we'll split up and hit individual senators and representatives, for the bills that we're supporting or we're actually introducing. So we'll work this all together.
I'm down for that.
Do I have to allow Discord to record? I can't hear anything in there, only YouTube. Actually, you have to actually move into the voice chat, M. Gabriel. So you have to, it's a physical movement. But yes, you have to allow Discord access to your microphone, by the way.
You allow access, and then there's a little headphone and a microphone next to each other. Just make sure there's a red slash to the microphone.
Yep. And that mutes your microphone. So at any rate, yep, you were in the voice chat right now. You're actually online, but not in the voice chat. Okay, gang. I'll tell you what, though, I do need to get going. But I want to thank all of you guys for... Oh, Jimmy G just came back. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for that, Joe Mama. There we go. M. Gabriel has joined us. And M. Gabriel...
You're welcome. I appreciate the... Like I said, I appreciate you, man. I really do. And in case I lose you, you have a great night, man. And like I said, keep rocking on, man. Keep rocking on.
You bet, and thank you. Thank you very much. And M. Gabriel is in the voice chat now. See what I mean, M. Gabriel? You're now listening to us in real time on Discord. So if you turn off the YouTube, you're actually in real time now. Hey, Joe Mama. John, what's your Facebook page link? Michelle is asking. So if you could throw that into the Discord. Actually, the link. Yeah, if you could do it there, that way we could... I don't know if it's a real long link. Okay.
Done.
There you go.
All done.
Hang on. I can take that now and put it right into the YouTube copy. And here we go, Michelle. We got you.
I used to go by Biden Stole It on Facebook, but Facebook
Oh, yeah.
They disabled my account.
Yeah. Shoot. Were you friends with Timmy Chonga as Biden stole it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I know that from. Okay, gotcha. Small world, man.
Yeah, of course, with a name like Biden Stole It.
Yep.
They're gonna delete you.
Okay, and
It took Facebook a while to disable me. I got into a debate where I won the debate, and they wound up disabling my account because they said I was bullying people when I was not bullying people. I'm dyslexic. That don't mean I'm retarded. It just means I was born with a disadvantage.
yep.
But just because I have a disadvantage, don't mean I'm retarded. And people mistake that all the time.
Yep.
They really do. Dyslexia means words move on paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. I can look at a computer, words don't move as much. And now after a while they will. But on paper, they do wind up moving like after like 15 minutes of reading. Back when I was in school, they prescribed me reading glasses. They made me nauseous. They made me dizzy. They didn't help me. They made it worse. Turns out, I was just dyslexic. Anyways,
That sounds
pretty
much...
A person tried to bully me, and I kind of trolled him back a little bit, but I did not bully him. It took Facebook over a year to find an excuse to get rid of me.
Well, I just remember Biden stole it. I remember that quite well. So were you in our Discord group, Truth, Money, and Freedom, as Biden stole it as well?
No, it's always been Joe Mama. Anything on Discord's always been by Joe Mama. I was on YouTube and Facebook as Biden Stole It.
Oh,
I
maybe
can't remember.
YouTube. That's where I remember it from.
I
Okay.
can't remember. I can't remember what my Facebook name was before Biden stole it. I change my name every so often on there.
Okay.
Facebook only allows you to do it like twice a year now. I used to do it every fucking few weeks, but Facebook's been really getting strict on their shit.
Yep.
Hell, back before all this shit started happening, back in like 2012, I started making several Facebook accounts because I had a feeling one day I was going to need them. I had a feeling something was up in 2012, and that's why I got so many hidden accounts on Facebook, and Facebook has made it to where I can't even make new accounts because they got my MAC address, not my IP address, my MAC address on lock. So if I try to create accounts, they go after me. I'm so glad that I actually, back in the day, created so many accounts. I saw this coming a mile away.
Understood.
I feel you there. I'm down. I've gotten 8 accounts taken down over there.
M. Gabriel says he has aversion to Facebook and Instagram. Gotcha, Gabriel.
Mhm.
And Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is a very powerful tool. And actually, so is Facebook, and so is Instagram. You know, I realize that there are some issues there, basically with censorship. But if you're not censored, it's a really, really good way to get information out. Gosh darn it, without Facebook, without YouTube, and without Twitter, I'm not sure SEPA would have gone our way. Believe it or not, those social media platforms, yeah, they're censoring me on YouTube. I've talked about this openly. But I also promised that I would never do a video about it again because I really hate when people do those complain about YouTube videos about censorship. Here's what they do. They take down my view counts. So whenever I create a video on Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast, I actually get at least 2 times the amount of views that is actually reported. There's 2 reasons to do this. Number 1, keeping your watch hours down, which enables the ability to monetize, which I would never do anyway. But the other one is to keep you out of the recommended video pools. So my videos tend not to show up as recommended videos for folks because they don't have enough views. Or another one is they go after likes. They take your likes down. So, and also they've taken tags out of my videos. That really pisses me off because I don't look for that.
Oh, you're right about that. Anytime the White House under the Biden administration posts a video, I dislike it on YouTube. YouTube deactivated my like and dislike button. So I changed my name for a while on YouTube. YouTube deactivated my like and dislike button.
Uh-oh.
and then once they reactivated, I changed my name now to Hunter Biden, the pipe expert.
Well.
Oh god, that is so bad. That name.
Which one? YouTube deactivated my like and dislike button, or Hunter Biden, the pipe expert?
It's the name, man. The Hunter Biden, the pipe expert. It's awesome, though. It's
yeah.
good.
We all know what pipes he's an expert of.
I know. That's why I'm being such a smartass.
Oh, I know.
Yep. So censorship is abound, and the Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast has been censored quite a bit on YouTube. This new channel that we're building right now on YouTube will also get censored. I have no doubt of that. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Did you guys hear Hunter Biden is selling artwork to the Chinese Communist Party, and that artwork is horrendous. I smell conflict of interest, if you ask me. I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't pay $1 for his artwork, and you got the Chinese Communist Party spending millions of dollars for it. Don't you all smell conflict of interest there?
Yeah.
I smell money laundering.
Yep. That's money laundering going on. I agree with you, Liberty. That's the first thing that came to my mind too. So basically, they're buying crap art that isn't worth anything, and they're paying $1 million per painting because they're laundering money.
Uh-huh.
Hey, where's Hunter's laptop? Anybody know?
Yeah, the New York Police Department's deep within the bowels of the New York Police Department.
Bowels is correct on that term.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Saying bowels is correct
Oh, yeah,
for that.
that's correct. Yep. And so apparently there was only 4 cops that saw what was on that laptop. That's the last we heard, anyway.
Are they still alive?
I don't know. That's a very good question. Very, very good question, actually.
Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not 100% sure what happened with Jeffrey, but I do think he's dead, no matter what. I'm not saying that was his body they rolled out, but I think that dude is gone. He had too much dirt on too many people.
I definitely think he's dead too, but when I hear people committing suicide now because of too much information, I call it getting Epstein.
Yep, getting Epstein.
It's usually, yeah, that's the commonplace name now. Oh, God.
Okay, gang, I'm actually wrapping it up for real. I've got to get to bed. I'm barely working here.
Yeah, get to sleep,
Cheers,
man.
man. Have a good night, man.
Hey, you guys have a good night too. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, by the way. Sorry about that. I didn't intend to go on this long. But once again, Discord up and running, donation link done. Jimmy D is working on our t-shirts. We should have, basically a design for a t-shirt here pretty quick. So we're going to start merchandising the Missouri Liberty Alliance, which will help fund the operation. And son of a gun. Oh, that's Jimmy D calling me. Hang on one second. Let's see if I can get Jimmy D. Hang on. Hey there, Jimmy D. You're on speakerphone. Jimmy, can you hear me?
Hey,
Jimmy, are you there?
yeah, can you hear me, Dan?
Yep, there we go. I hear you now.
That storm is raging here, and it just knocked me out of everything. So
Okay, gotcha.
I'm out of luck. I
Okay.
can't see you, I can't hear you, nothing.
And right when I was talking about you, too.
Yeah, you probably said something bad.
No, I was just letting everyone know that you're nearly done with the t-shirt design for Missouri Liberty Alliance. And so we have merchandise coming, at some point in time.
Cool, and I suppose you let everyone
Rock
know
on,
the,
Jimmy.
donation deal.
Yep, I let them know about the donation deal. Yep. And
That
Yep.
is very cool.
Yep, and then we have Twitter and Facebook coming up this week. So that'll be ready by the weekend. So we'll do another live broadcast on that one.
Cool. Very good. I'll tell you what, I'll leave that techno stuff up to you techno guys, because obviously I can't even keep mine lit up in a
Is it just
storm.
me, or am I the only one that calls Twitter tweakers and Facebook fake?
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I tried to have the microphone pick you up, but it just can't pick you up, buddy. Sorry about that.
Hey, it's no problem, Patrick. I'm just gonna bow out because I can't do anything.
Yep, understood. I gotcha. And I'm heading to bed here pretty quick anyway, Jimmy.
Well, just tell everybody I'm sorry. Like I just disappeared off of there, but it's not my doings.
Yep, I understand. You lose power, you lose power. That's the way it is, man.
Well, that's
No,
stupid.
he's-
As soon if the clouds are in the sky, it seems like the damn thing doesn't work. I gotta get with that T-Mobile thing and see how that's gonna work out.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call, man, and thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to walk me through getting them because I tried to happen, it just didn't work. So.
Okay, no problem, buddy. We'll get you taken care of very quickly.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a good night, man.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, actually, I was wrong, guys. He didn't lose power. There's just too many clouds over his house, and he's got satellite internet.
No.
So that's what happened to Jimmy. Yep, and Joe Mama's left, and I'll tell you what, gang. Like I said, actually, we've gone down to 3 viewers. People are going to bed. So,
Mhm.
yeah, not that we had a big following tonight, but I'm really appreciative of anyone who came in. So, and of course, the video will be available for everyone to watch on YouTube and everything. And we'll be coming out with a lot more content. So we'll keep covering stuff, gang. In interviews with basically with Jared Taylor and Eric Burleson, I'll be getting those done this summer. So we'll actually have interviews with those guys, one-on-one interviews. That'll be in-person interviews. We're not going to do the internet interview stuff. We'll actually go in person, but it won't be live.
Mhm.
Okay. And no problem, Gabriel. Thank you for coming in, by the way. We appreciate you, man. Okay, gang. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream. Again, thank you all for joining tonight. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. And thank you for everything you guys do for the state of Missouri. Very, very important stuff here. So, and we're just going to keep on doing it. That's what we're going to do. And especially since, you know, it's our goal to make Missouri the best and freest state with the most liberties out of all 50 states. That's our goal.
Mhm.
All right. You guys all have a good evening. You take care. May God bless you all. And like I said, good things coming very, very soon. Take care, gang.
Beat us in.